Hello, farmers, and welcome to another episode of the harvest season. My name is Kevin.
And my name is Liam.
There we go. I was doing the motion. I know you can't see me, but I was motioning towards
I
you.
felt it. I felt it.
And we are here today to talk about, not some cottagecore games, mostly
We're here to
Guardian.
talk largely about a
Largely,
cottagecore game.
maybe. Look, our ratios have been
Maybe.
off lately.
Oh yeah.
Some would say so. I mean, like Pocopia came out, and that was how should I put it? A generational event for our little show here.
Yeah.
Not just because the game is excellent, but we're also all big Pokemon fans. That get there's probably a big overlap in general between cottagecore and Pokemon fans. But anyways, so we
What a game too. I mean, like holy.
what I mean, you played it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My
Oh,
wife and I were
oh, oh,
hard
oh, oh.
obsessed with it for like 2 weeks, and then interestingly enough, we both sort of hit the same point where we just dropped off hard, and we were like, we should sell this while it's still worth a lot of money, and then we did. But I played up to like the third area, which for
hmm
me was the one with the boat, the SSN, and
Yeah.
and I just like hit a hard wall, and I was like, okay, I've had my fill, and my wife did the exact same thing in the other order. She did the SSN second, and then
Mm,
the mines third, and hit a
oh,
wall. So
okay, like I get it. Like you go hard and then you hit a I get it.
mm,
I wish you could have
this,
seen the ending, or I don't know how much you've seen or heard or gathered, but
oh, I haven't seen the ending. I know that like what's the spoiler level that we're at on this
oh,
podcast? Is
I
this
mean, okay, well, it
for
depends on
Pocopia?
topic. Well, is open range. We've
Okay.
done top to bottom at this point, so
I I have all I have seen as far as like spoilers go is that the last area is like this broken up like floating islands place thing that seems rather neat, but
yes,
and that you get like a magnemite power at the end that is like mad OP and lets you build pretty willy-nilly. But
yeah.
otherwise I don't actually know the ending or anything yet, so maybe one day.
Oh
But
well,
to be clear, our experience with the game where we cut ourselves off short was entirely a positive one because we were
yeah.
both like, it was starting to feel like a drag to play. So
hmm
I'm glad we ended where we did instead of trying to force our way through an extra 20 hours
Sure,
of that. So,
sure. And that's
yeah.
an interesting one because, like, you can like beeline it pretty dang quick, in all honesty. But it's so
Mhm.
easy to get distracted because you're building up a little house, sure, make it a little nice and whatnot. But but I will say, like, I mean, gameplay wise, like, there's probably a couple stuff. But it's really the story, which is weird to say because I mean, Pokemon's writing's not stellar to begin with in general, but
Sure.
and this sort of crafting game you wouldn't expect it, but the story is wild. And it's because it's also how it's told. A lot of it's like, and you've already seen it, like the environmental storytelling, right? Like
Yeah,
just
like the
what's
notes
happened.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This funny Team Rocket guy who wants me to bring him
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
plants.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, it's
The
phenomenal.
storytelling is very charming. That the narrative design
Yeah,
pretty strong,
yeah.
honestly. I agree. Speaking of getting distracted, though, I may have veered us immediately off of your podcast format,
No,
so I'll be
that's fine.
happy to.
Tangents are the podcast format, some would say.
You are right. You are right. What
And
is a podcast? A miserable pile of tangents.
it, bam, dude, you nailed the episode title
Mm.
too. Oh, that's A plus. It really
Thank
is.
you.
I mean, we've been it's been called to our attention, like I said. The whole reason I brought it up because we like one of the few negative comments we've received in a while was a guy who said we're talking too much about Pocopia, but like I don't know what to tell you. Like it was clear as day when we've been talking about it all year. It was going to be a thing for us.
It's tough
Anyways,
to thread that needle though, like,
yeah,
because you're right. It's I mean, it's like it's the 9/11 for cottagecore fans when
yeah,
Pocopia hit. Like it
yeah.
was, really, what was it you said, world defining, or
Generational.
you
So that's
generational. That's much better than what I
yeah.
said. Like, so it's hard to thread that needle when someone maybe is not into Pocopia, and all you want
Yeah.
to talk about is the
Yeah.
game that owns
Yeah.
the space. Yeah.
That's
Oh
yeah,
well.
that's
Oh
fair.
well.
Oh well, indeed.
Yeah.
But hey,
Indeed.
actually, this is the first episode I've been on since it came out where the Pocopia was not the focus. But
And yet.
yeah, and yet here we are.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna. Anyways, so just final note. Like, I would
Yeah.
invite you to look up the story, like the final pieces. Like it's not
Mm.
even the actual plot. The plot is fairly light, but the background information and what you piece it all together in the credit sequence, it's chef's kiss.
Ooh, the credit sequence too, huh?
Oh yeah, the credit sequence is yeah, yeah. It's one that tells a little something right up till the very end. One of those kinds of things.
Man,
Um,
maybe I should. Maybe I should try to just watch that with my wife tonight or something.
yeah, yeah. I
I'm
would.
really intrigued now.
Yeah, because I don't know how much you know or what you learned, but there's some nonsense going on. I mean, as you can tell, because like you said, you saw
Mm-hmm.
the screwed up
Definitely.
shifted mountains and cities cut in half. Like it's yeah, there's some nonsense going on and figuring out why everything is like that. It's insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
Omega Force, surprisingly good writers. They did the Dragon
They got people.
Yeah, they do. They got the Dragon Quest Builders games. I don't know if you played either of those, but I played two.
Yeah.
And that
I
the
played only the first one, but
mm,
yeah.
oh, I have not tried the first one. I heard two was an improvement pretty much in every way, but
That's my impression, yeah.
yeah.
Um,
But
the cool thing about the first one is
yeah.
it's the best Dragon Quest builders you can play on the PlayStation Vita.
No.
Um,
Wait, it made it to the
that I really
Vita?
enjoyed.
I didn't
Yeah,
realize
it's on the
it.
Vita, the first one. I do not believe the second one made it to Vita. I should just like double check that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, you got the Switch
Ooh.
version for that anyway. So,
Yeah.
although I
Oh,
hear the
that's
Switch version of Builders 2 is
it's service.
shaky. Oh yeah,
It,
no Vita.
yeah.
Serviceable, you'd say?
Yeah, it's serviceable. I played it. I mean, I got a couple hundred hours on the Switch, so I
Wow, nice.
but I think I've been a primarily Nintendo guy my life, so I do have lower
Hmm.
standards. So, disclaimer. Um,
Yeah, I mean, lower standards are just like it doesn't bother you, right? Like I
yeah,
totally get you there, honestly.
yeah, I guess
Me
so.
playing Bayonetta 3 and not giving a about 60 FPS not being the
Yeah.
whatever. Hmm. I don't need to insult myself. I can just admit that I'm just like enjoying it the way
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
Look, I'm a Sonic fan. I enjoy games with much bigger
Yeah.
problems.
Look, here at the harvest season episode whatever this is, we're Sonic fans. We're we're on a different level.
Oh my God.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, the viewers know what that means. The listeners, they know what that means. Like
Everyone drawing
it's
their own conclusion.
yeah, I mean I'm known as the Sonic fan for better and well, mostly for worse, but so we do a sideshow on the Patreon. It's called The Greenhouse. It's like just random topics. It's not cottagecore nonsense. It's just whatever we feel like. One of
Sure,
my
sure.
favorite episodes was one of our friends hosts on here on now and then. His name is Johnny. Um,
Hmm.
he's a pretty critical guy. Let's say. Him and I we butt heads or different opinions in a lot of things. But we get along great. He's a great guy. Um, Anyways, so one day I just said, you know what, Johnny? I'm gonna sit you down. I'm gonna introduce. He's never. I don't think he's ever played a Sonic game. And I said, I'm gonna go down a list of Sonic characters, and you're gonna rate them.
Oh, fun. That'll be good. That'll be
Yeah,
good.
that was good. It was fun stuff. We started
Yeah,
off
you gotta
fairly
get him
light.
in there.
I didn't get deep. I didn't get the deep cuts in, but I
Hmm.
mean, we got Big the Cat, and so that's all that matters. Um,
Big the Cat's great.
I
It's
do
like a
love
real
Big the
wake up
Cat.
call if you haven't paid attention to Sonic designs in 27 years.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
whoa, whoa, what's this guy? What's this guy's deal? He looks so different.
What I
Yeah.
what I love about Big the Cat is like he was the butt of the joke and the almost emblematic of what people felt was wrong with the series, but they really turned him around. Like I get so hyped to see Big now. Did you play what's it Sonic not Forces Frontiers? Did you play I assume you play Frontiers?
Frontier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played through Frontiers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how great was Big in that? The little fishing hole
it's
with him
cute.
is great. I
It's cute when
loved
he
it.
shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always liked Big a lot, even in Adventure,
Yeah.
because I feel like his story is very sincere. Like
Yeah.
even if maybe the narrative around him
Yeah.
is not the most well executed,
Yeah.
there's like a real sincerity to his friendship with Froggy and stuff
There is.
that I can always get behind. Like that
Yeah.
game has such a strong emotional core to it.
It does. I
Yeah,
agree with that 100%.
I love him.
Maybe one day we'll get a good remake for it. One with without blindingly shiny textures.
Yeah. Did you ever play Sonic Dreams Collection?
No, but I watched you play it, and that
Oh, okay.
is
Yeah. What a game. What a time. That
that
that big
oh,
sequence is that
that
also touched my heart in a different way.
that was also a generational game, more so
Oh
than
yeah.
Generations. If you guys don't know
Yeah,
what
for
Sonic
real.
Dreams Collection is, either go play it right now, or well, or after the episode, or go look up a playthrough of it because
Yeah,
it's I
yeah.
can't begin to describe it.
It
That's something very
it's a free
special.
fan game, so just yeah, I highly encourage it.
Oh, good. There's a non-zero chance they'll reference it one day. There's a non-zero
Oh yeah, there's a they probably already accidentally made
accident.
references to it, but
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Oh,
I mean the pipeline of like Sonic fans who want to officially work on Sonic games.
that's true.
Like
Yeah.
it's real, and we've seen that with like fan games becoming real games with like the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. And
Yeah,
there's a
that was a
there's
good
a
one.
non-zero chance there is already a reference to Dreams Collection that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, very true.
Yep.
Those comics run deep. I know I'm not a comics guy, but I know they run deep. Um, oh, good times. Oh, like you said, a mess of tangents. I don't know how we got here. We're Sonic people.
That's
That's how
how
we
it
got
go.
here.
That's
All right,
how it
Liam.
go.
All right,
Yes.
okay. What have you been up to? Let's get to that. What have you been up to in recent times or whenever? You can pretend like it's recent. I don't care.
I lately I had two things: medical intervention
Oh,
and being absolutely spoiled by video games on my Switch 2.
oh,
So the first the less good thing is I like developed this everything's okay. I don't have cancer, just to be
okay.
clear. But I like developed this condition in my lower gut that was really not
Ooh,
good. And the
ooh,
doctor, when they figured out what it was, which was
yeah.
pretty quick, they were like, "You have to have a surgery
Oh,
ASAP." So I had to have the first invasive surgery of my life.
mm,
It will be 3 weeks on Friday since then.
okay.
Uh, and it was scary. Like I'm a squeamish dude around like medical stuff, and it was scary. I had to
Mm,
like trick my brain into like accepting that all I was going to the doctor's office for that day was for an IV. They're
hmm.
just gonna put an IV in me, and that's it. And because I would be asleep for the
Yeah.
rest of it. So,
Yeah, I mean,
um,
effectively, that's kind of what it's like, or at least the one I experienced.
yeah, and it was like that. I mean, if for anyone who's ever had that sort of thing, those drugs really work, man. They really they really get
Yeah.
you. I had heard about that all my life, but never experienced it. And
Yeah.
then when it happened, she's like, "You're gonna feel some tingling in your arm." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I was asleep before I felt a
Yeah.
single thing. Anyway, I had that, and then I had a week and a half of recovery. The recovery was
Yeah.
perfect. It was totally fine. But boy, it hurt. Like they had to cut me open, my
Ooh.
abdominal region. Yeah.
Oh, so you had like scar, like big
Yeah.
surgery. Ooh.
I got scar, surgical wound, exactly. And like
Oh.
that sort of thing, there's like some internal pain, some internal bruising from like where the thing was fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm.
there's like the surgical incision
Yeah.
where it's like on the abs. And like the distressing thing about that is, well, one of them is that like it's hard to live your life without activating your abdominal muscles. And so if you like sneeze, Ouch.
Oh, that's a bad
That
one.
hurts. That's
Laughing.
bad.
Don't laugh too
Yeah,
hard.
my like 2 days after the surgery, I was talking to my wife about Dig Dug because that's what I do. And at
Yes.
some point, she addressed the main character as Doug, like
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
which was not correct. And it was one of those you just really had to be there kind of funny moments.
Yes.
But she explained to me how she earnestly thought the guy's name was Dig Doug, Doug.
Yeah.
And having been at this you just had to be there funny moment, I was doubled over laughing. I was in such pain, and she could see that I was in pain, but like a safe level,
Yeah.
so she kept playing into it and making it funnier.
Oh, good on her.
That's
Oh.
that's the kind of person I married, so
Yeah. Yeah.
it was super funny. But anyway, the recovery's been very good, and I've
Well,
I'm like okay now, so
well, that is wonderful to hear. I boy, that put things into context. I feel like you just came out of surgery when I asked you about this episode. Holy moly.
yeah, honestly, like I think the timing
Is that
probably was
you
like
had nothing to better to
right
do?
around that.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
Thankfully,
gosh.
thankfully now, like everything's pretty back to normal. Like
All
the
right.
doctor's like, you still shouldn't do any heavy lifting, and I'm like, oh, don't worry,
Yeah.
no, nothing to worry about
Yeah.
there. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, everything's pretty much good now. That was a big thing in my life that happened recently.
Whoa.
But more recently, like I've said before, I have been just so spoiled by like games on the Switch 2 that I have been just over the moon to play.
Hmm.
Uh, I was able to immediately find a copy of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, the Microsoft published one. I found a used one, which is nice because we should still probably not buy Microsoft stuff for a little while
Hmm.
till they can
Well, I
boy.
don't know till when, to be honest, but I get you.
Yeah, I know until when, right?
Until question
I,
mark.
I've I felt pretty lucky to find a used copy so
Uh,
soon after launch, and like, boy, man, the graphics on this thing, I'm not gonna harp on about them, but like playing a handheld game with graphics that look like that is pretty. What is it people say? We've come a long way since Pac-Man.
mm-hmm.
It's yeah, but it's such an interesting game. The puzzle solving is
Yeah.
is really fun too. It's got like nice real puzzles too that are not just like you in a room with a square block and a square hole.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a really neat adventure game that does a whole lot of things and does a whole lot of things right. I also played the other big one that I've been playing is Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, which I
Ooh.
have you heard of this? Are you
I'm
tuned
aware.
into?
I mean, I was aware of indie too. I
Okay.
haven't played indie either, but I mean, like, yeah, I mean, obviously. So, like, it's interesting how we have a whole Yoshi crafted sub genre now. But tell me about it. Tell me about the mysterious book.
Yoshi and the Mysterious Book finally jumps away from the crafted subgenre, so or like sub series. So no longer is Yoshi Yarn Yoshi. Yarn Yoshi has been deleted from existence at this point. Basically, there's this mysterious book. His name's Mister E Book, which is a fabulous name. And
Gosh, he
you
has a
can
mustache.
he does, and he appears, I believe, on Yoshi's Island, and all the Yoshis are like, "What's up with you?" And you go to all these levels within the book that have these critters, all these different creatures that are in need of research, and so it's a 2D platformer. But the way you progress the game is not through finishing stages, through like dexterous platforming play, but you progress by investigating the creatures. So you have
Oh,
to experiment with them and do things with them. A
oh
lot of there's
no.
basic stuff you can do to every creature,
How long?
jumping on them, eating them, throwing eggs at them,
I
and
mean,
so
I was
on.
gonna say, how long hold them underwater? Can you hold them underwater for? But
Oh
that
yeah.
works too.
Yeah. Right, that sort of thing. But yeah, like that sort of thing, because like
Oh,
for example, like there's this one creature who produces bubbles rapidly. When you run around, they make more bubbles. So like, okay, I threw him in the mud, and now
oh
all of his
no.
bubbles are full of mud, and they have like very different platforming properties.
Oh
I fed
no.
him a really spicy pepper, and all of his bubbles explode now when they touch things, which you can use to do other things within the stage. Sometimes you have the creatures meet up with each other. Sometimes you mate the creatures. There's like a lot of actually genuinely really creative stuff.
Wow.
And like to reiterate, like your progress is based on how much you discover
Oh
rather
no.
than platforming dexterity. So the platforming is kind of a means to the end, and that end is studying critters.
Oh,
And like it's really involved. Like each critter I feel like has like 30 or more things to discover. I don't think I've fully cleared a single one in the like 10 to 15 or so, 10 to 12 or so that I've seen. I'm hearing a lot of oh no's. Is this
you can't
oh
do
no, I
this
have to
to
try
me.
this game?
You can't do this to
Yeah.
me. Lee. I didn't know there
I
was a
hate to
perfect
say it.
storm. Oh, for me.
I
Okay.
hate to say it, but it's really good. Like this is probably my favorite Yoshi game.
All right.
That's the end of that sentence.
Here's here.
Uh,
Here's the context,
yeah, go ahead,
Liam.
go ahead.
I mean, what one? I've as established, I'm a big Pokemon fan, so the deck's
Mm-hmm.
billing collecting. That's obviously appealing, right? Creature collectors,
Mm-hmm.
always catches my eye. But what you don't know, I don't think I've discussed with you.
Mm.
And I don't want to say used to because technically we're on indefinite hiatus right now. I did a Mario podcast with a friend of mine. So I am extremely well versed in Mario lore and characters and nonsense.
Mm.
And
Mm.
so like I mean, I know Yoshi is kind of an offshoot and gets slightly different things. Like we don't see Poochie running around in the Mario games, but um
Sure, but Yoshi's a Mario.
Yoshi is a
Fundamentally,
Mario.
Yoshi's a
Yes, it's in
Mario.
the
Yeah.
extended Mario universe, right? So
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
this is checking all the right boxes, and like this whole discovery angle. Oh, that's my jam. That's obviously it's so much more invigorating than just catching the same thing ad nauseum or selecting the same attack. And all these creative things you're talking
Yeah,
about. Dang, this is cool.
it's it's really cool. And like, unlike platformer games like say I don't know, like Braid, where you see
Yeah.
the gimmick and you're like, okay, that is a generational gimmick for platformers.
Mm-hmm.
I would say this creature studying thing is not, it's not quite as powerful a gimmick,
Yeah.
obviously. Like, people aren't seeing it and running out to the shops to grab Yoshi
Yeah.
in the same way that, like a game like Braid made waves.
Yeah.
But the level of execution is so good. That's what's really like killing it for me in this game. Is
Sure.
they're just nailing it. Maybe I'm mixing metaphors there, saying they're killing it for me. They're doing really good, is what I mean.
Sure.
Um,
No, I mean I get it.
uh,
Killing is one of those, good and bad. I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um.
They're killing it. That like they're killing it means it's good. They're killing it for me. Does that mean it's good? I don't know. Anyway, let me escape that sentence. The level of execution is so brilliant. There's no eShop demo, but if you do have like a Walmart with a Switch 2 unit, I know they have in-store demo for it,
Ooh.
so there is that if you need to give it a swing. Man, what else about that game?
Oh man.
Baby Bowser and Kamek are in it, or
Yeah,
sorry, Bowser Jr.
that's
Is that his
correct.
name now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, it is. As the semi-authority,
So
yes.
yeah.
um,
So yeah, but
oh, I
overall, like just a really lovely time. I don't quite know that I would call it a cottagecore game, but it
yeah,
definitely feels a lot more relaxed
yeah,
and thoughtful
yeah,
than previous Yoshi games.
yeah.
You also can't die in this game,
That's
which
big. Um,
plays in it plays into the whole like platforming is a means to an end
hmm
rather than a test of skill in this game.
right.
But I don't really think it's an issue, honestly, because you can still permanently mess up a level and you have to restart the level
Ooh.
in some cases, like if you accidentally deplete a certain creature who lives in a level. It's like, well,
Yeah,
okay, i'm
oops.
gonna need to
Extinction.
I'm gonna need to leave and come back. Yeah,
An
those
extinction.
circumstances are pretty unusual, but they
Yeah.
do exist. So, like, even if you can't die, there are still sort of soft failure states.
Okay.
But yeah, it's fun.
Oh,
As you progress, you meet different creatures, of
yeah.
course. I haven't finished the game, but I think there's 30 stages slash
Wow.
30 creatures. And sometimes you'll get these extra little additions made to creatures pages where another creature can be invited into that page and they will have sort of joint interactions in some way. So there's really like a level of creative depth to each of the creatures that I admire. And you touched on something a little bit
Yeah.
before where you when you said it's not just you likened it to Pokemon. It's not just picking the same moves and just
Yeah.
catching,
Yeah.
yeah. I really feel like this is what I have been wanting from Pokemon for a long time, like a lower number but a much higher level of a much higher quantity of meaningful interaction
Yeah.
with each
Absolutely.
creature.
That I mean
And
that's well, sorry to interrupt, but just like that's
go
probably
ahead,
one of
yeah.
Pokemon's biggest issues right now, right? Like
I think so.
they fail I've always said like the best thing about Pokemon is the Pokemon, which is very true. And but like you look at the '90s, the early days, right? They had so many games with interacting them in so many ways, right? You had Snap taking pictures, you have all these spin-off games and doing different things with them. Like Pokopia, that's one of the appealing parts, kind of. Like we're not battling, we're just hanging out and building things for them and just chatting, which is fun.
Sure,
Um,
sure.
so yeah, no, I get it, but oh, this is so exciting to see in a Yoshi slash Mario game. Oh, I love this so much.
Yeah, it's nice. I think looking at the last three sort of mainline quote unquote Yoshi titles,
Yeah,
the ones all by Goodfeel.
yeah,
So Woolly World on the Wii U and
yeah.
3DS, and Crafted World on the Switch. I think this is the best of the three overall.
Uh-huh.
But if you are like platforming, if you're like a platforming needs to be hard, I want to do platforming challenges kind of guy, this might not be your jam, even if I think it's the strongest overall. It's
Sure.
definitely more of an explorative game. In some ways, and I don't want to overstate things, but in some ways it reminds me of like immersive sim gameplay,
Mm-hmm.
how you're like taking various elements in a level and like smushing them together to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I recorded an extended video with my friend the other day, and we didn't like we had an idea what to expect, but we had so much more fun than I anticipated,
That's
really.
very
And
cool.
I've continued playing it fervently, and it has not the sheen has not worn off. Like even like 4 hours in or whatever, which I know is not that long. Like you get through the levels pretty rapidly and you encounter a lot of creatures, but they all feel pretty fresh. Like they really did a great job varying them and stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
uh,
I just got
I don't need to keep harping on with Yoshi,
no,
but
I'm just gonna say
they
bad
really
job,
did it.
Nintendo. They're not marketing this because I forgot it came out and I didn't realize like this is what they're going about, but dang.
Yeah, I think their Nintendo Direct. I mean, so like Nintendo Direct marketing is like really good,
Yeah.
and like Nintendo probably has the best direct to consumer marketing
Sure.
possibly of any company on the planet. I don't know. Like
Mm,
Nintendo Directs are really effective,
they are.
but I don't disagree that the mysterious book trailers that Nintendo has put out feel very, I don't know, slow and not that interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least I don't feel like they're really getting to the like you can't just get up and be like this doesn't look that interesting, but it's actually really well made. Like you
Yeah.
can't say that to the camera
Yeah.
because it doesn't work. So yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong that like this is exceeding my expectations.
Yeah.
So evidently my expectations that were set by Nintendo might have been in the wrong place,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like I think you're on the money,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
I highly encourage anyone who's interested to try to give it a swing. I know there's an in-store demo in Japan. I assume that in-store demo also exists at demo kiosks internationally, so maybe.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I I've been seeing a lot of those kiosks popping up lately, like in Targets and Walmart's, like functional now. Like I don't know if Nintendo's trying to
Mhm.
push them out, but probably because of the Switch 2 or whatever. But
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no. Yeah, to be honest, I can do an encyclopedia page on a squeak. Oh,
Yeah,
that's my
basically.
fan game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
The
yeah,
it's cute too because like as much as a couple, there are like a couple Yoshi mainstays. Uh, Most of them are like original new critters for this
yeah. I don't
game
know
or
that
like
snail
variants
guy.
on ones you've seen.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I don't know a snail guy either.
Yeah, I don't
There's
know.
also one that looks like a fake Kirby,
Yeah, the fake Kirby.
and the
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah, that's very fun.
fake
Yeah.
Kirby does not work how you think it works. It's cute though. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure
Anyway,
they lean into that, but it's like they set your expectations. But anyways, good stuff. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Wow, it's the
yeah.
underdog story of the year. Good stuff. Um,
I hope so. I hope it gets the acclaim that I think it deserves. I At very least the reviews I think were very good. Honestly,
ooh,
I think it got like an 80 something Metacritic, which is very salt. Like Yoshi does not normally
no,
punch that high.
no,
It currently has an 80 on Metacritic. Uh,
that's good.
a a solid handful of which are nines and tens,
Mm-hmm.
which is like okay, this is really resonating with some people out there.
Yeah,
2, 5. I don't know. It seems like more than 10% of the reviews are like nines or tens.
dang.
Good sign, I think.
Yeah,
Way more than 10%. Sorry, I'm scrolling and
yeah,
it's nines for a while. Anyway, I'm rambling, but
that's fine.
uh,
Okay, sick.
yeah, good stuff.
What,
What?
anything
Hmm.
else on your end?
Lots of little things, but I think I can leave it at that. I think those have been the main things.
Okay,
Yoshi and invasive stomach surgery about equally take up space in my mind right now. So,
sure, sure.
what have you been up
They
to
tread
in the past
similar
little while?
grounds if you think about it.
They do, yeah.
Oh man. As people know, I've been playing my favorite game, which is working too much. So
Oh
my
yeah,
my
working too much.
my gaming and the free time has been very limited lately. But I mean, I squeak out Pocopia when I can. We talked about that. I don't have to go into detail.
Mm.
Oh, okay. One thing I will mention, like just to pitch to you, like we talked about in detail already, but. Are you familiar with the Cloud Island feature on Pocopia?
Oh yeah, the yeah, like the pallet town kind of space kind of thing.
So it's two things. Well, one, it is kind of Pallet Town, where it's like the blank slate.
Oh, sorry, Cloud Island. Right,
Yes,
that's
yes,
the little right. Sorry, that's the separate thing.
yes, yeah, yeah. I know.
Yeah, I
It's
am
easy to
actually.
mix because the idea is kind of the same to begin. Where it's kind of like the blank slate sandbox mode or whatever, right? Um,
Right.
so Cloud Island is online, right? What
Mm.
just when you start it, and I've talked about this like a month ago, so people know, but it's asynchronous. You can open up your Cloud Island and send people your code,
Mm.
and people can come hang out and do whatever they want whenever. And so, like me and my friend Mark, we just have the Cloud Island, and like this is why I'm playing it, or a big part why I'm playing it so much. Like it's just kind of the hangout spot for us now because we don't, we're remote, so we don't see each other that frequently.
Mm.
So like it's just so satisfying that we don't have to sync up at a certain time and worry about connectivity or whatever. Like we just hop on, do stuff and just chat about how we're building up a town, building a little beach market or what have you. It's so much fun. Um
That is fun.
yeah.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
So the asynchronous I get, if you're both online at the same time, are you also playing together or is it
Yes.
purely asynchronous?
You no, you are
Oh,
playing together.
cool.
Yes.
Both.
You can have up to four people on the island at once.
Hmm.
So you want to get a party going, you can. Um but you can and there's no limit to, as far as I know, to who can actually visit. So like they have what called the
Just
developer island. That's a cloud island, and everyone goes there because they handed out the code. But if I
mm.
I throw my code, and I have thrown my code out into the ether, everyone can come visit and see whenever. It's just like a population limit of four at max. But you
Oh,
you
I see.
you
Okay.
can play
That's
together.
dope.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
Apparently
really
IKEA distributed a Cloud Island
yeah, IKEA Island. I haven't been to
working
it, but
online.
sadly
Amazing.
they did not
Incredible.
introduce IKEA furniture into the game. But they just the vibes, the IKEA
Yeah,
vibes.
yeah, yeah.
um, but
This Cloud Island thing seems interesting. So is that your main? I take it you've finished the game. Is that your main occupation in
right,
Pokopia now? Is like plugging away at Cloud Island?
right now, like it depends if I'm on or not, basically.
Right, right, right.
Right, because sometimes I'll be on a lunch break or whatever, and sometimes like even in the single player mode, like the appeal of fixing up things, which you've already seen plenty of, like fixing up the SS Anne or just these ruined structures, like that takes a lot of effort,
Hmm.
but I get a lot of satisfaction out of it. So I work on that here and there, but so I'm kind of 50-50 between Cloud Island, just building up whatever, and actually working on my single player file, just tidying up and like, yeah, restoring structures and whatnot. I also like there's still the Pokedex. I'm on like 200, I think, out of the 300. Like that's technically a thing I can do. Our friend Al has actually done the Pokedex. So it was a good on him. But
That's a whole thing. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, no, Pokopia. I never thought I'd have a game become my personality, but here I am, sadly. I say that, but again, Sonic fan, so um, but yeah. Okay, aside from Pocopia, I managed to dip my toes into other games, specifically back into good old Zenless Zone Zero. Um,
Hmm.
I think if I recall, you're familiar with it. Did you played it? I think at the beginning a little.
I played it for almost a year to the day.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, yeah.
Because I stopped like right before
Season two
the
stuff.
first year
Yeah,
anniversary,
yeah.
and my friend was like, "Why would you stop now? There's all the free handouts and stuff."
They're trying to get the
But
drugs.
my yeah, exactly, yeah. First hit's free, second hit's free. But my wife and I were spending like 30 plus minutes a day doing our dailies,
Yeah.
and after like a year of doing that, I think both of us were like, we should take this time back from Zenless
Yeah,
Zone
no,
Zero.
that's
And I know we could just not do the dailies and we'd still be okay.
yeah.
But I mean the game's designed to make
It's a
you want to
gotcha
do
game.
them, man.
Yeah,
It's
it's
yeah,
just the
it's
nature of the beast. So I get it. I don't blame you one bit. And like I'll say, year one was phenomenal. Like I think year one was pretty solid top to bottom. Generally speaking. Like they're the character that came out in the scenarios or whatever. Like it's not a terribly deep game, all things considered, but I had fun with everything they gave out. Um,
yeah, the high points were high
mhm.
at very least. I strongly agree with that. Even there's some stuff I didn't like, but by and large, very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, so okay, so you are familiar. This is important context because but yeah, we got
Mhm.
season three, year three coming up, and that's I'm a little
Yes.
lukewarm on it. It's whatever. But right now, what's happening? I came back for this. I dropped it for a minute. But so Billy, you remember Billy, that red jacket robot
Yes.
man?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, he got an S rank variant because he's like the one of the free units. They give you.
Yeah.
He got a S rank.
The Starlight Billy, right?
Yes, have you seen it?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I have
sure,
seen
you
it.
already okay.
I am somewhat up to date
Okay,
on the news anyway,
yes,
if not the
okay.
contents in
It's
detail.
okay, but yeah, I mean it's pretty like I'm a sucker for
It's
the
pretty
Sentai
cool.
tropes and the biker jacket and he have you seen his ultimate? He does like a
Oh, not
motorcycle,
yet.
like a kind of like a donut on the enemy. The motorcycle explodes and then he follows up with a form perfect Sentai kick. And it's
Cool.
just over the top. You know what Zenless is good at, being over the top and fashionable and looking good. So that had me excited. So I'm back in for Billy, and he actually came out just today. I already played with him because they give you the trial or whatever or chapter with him.
Yeah,
But
the sample.
yeah,
Yeah.
but so I'll pull for him. But I'm it's by the same note of like, yeah, you can play these games without, or you lose time just kind of mindlessly playing through the dailies. Like sometimes that's what I want. So that's if that's the time slot I want to fill up, then it is what
Yeah,
it is.
I think that's totally reasonable,
Yeah.
honestly. Like I get people just wanting to sit and be comfortable with a game that brings them comfort. Like
Yeah.
totally. For me and my wife, it was just like
Yeah.
we're both doing it. Like, and we're using the PS5, so like only one of us can do it at a time. So we're like
Oh,
waiting for the other person to finish
yeah,
their
yeah,
dailies. God forbid there's an event on now.
yeah. Oh my
You know,
gosh, yeah. Ooh, I
much
didn't think about that. That would be rough to share. Yeah.
it was not ideal,
Yeah.
and like there's things I like. I really enjoy the combat. I think it's very fun in
Yeah.
Zenless Zone Zero, and like MiHoYo has a hell of an art team. And
Hmm.
they deliver. But like, man, I have complaints through all their games about the narrative design
Oh
and the
yeah.
writing,
Oh
and
yeah.
specifically just how overwrought and how lengthy scenes can be
Yeah.
for not great feeling reasons. They will wear your X button out, is kind of my feeling.
They
Um,
added the auto or even the
yeah,
skip.
you could skip, but that doesn't feel right, right? In
Yeah.
like a story sequence.
They
Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm
no,
I'm cutting
no,
off
that's
your
fine. I mean,
enjoying
yeah,
Zenless
no, no. I mean,
with
these were
my
very
not.
valid complaints. I'll give them a small thumbs up because if you skip, they'll give you a summary of the main points that you're skipping.
Mm,
For
that's you're not wrong. That is
yeah,
something.
but but yeah, no. I mean, like yeah, like you said, the combat's good, the art's good. I I talked about this last time, but one of the complaints, or like I said, there's season three is coming out. It does feel a little weaker in terms of character design. Um, it feels, for lack of a better way of putting it, very MiHoYo. Feels like they're starting to
Hmm.
go to some of their other standard tropes in their other games or their designs. Because I don't know, Zenless felt very fresh, right? We had robots, we had a anthropomorphic bear, and a werewolf butler, all sorts of different characters and flavors. Um, but
I think they were like a cool collection of like archetype groups.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah,
The maids, the bikers,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and now like the stuff they're showing, yeah, it's nothing's really like hyping me up. So we'll see what how long I
Mm,
stick with it, but it's here at least for right now. But anyways, but yeah, like I said, overall not a lot going on with me because I've just been so dang busy. But well, I say
mm.
that, but with the all the asterisks that Guardians of Azuma, the thing we actually came to talk about. I tried putting in a little
Yes,
time in
yeah.
that. So let's pivot to that. Yeah, yeah. Rune
Yes.
Factory. So, it is. Gosh, I think Rune Factory, like as big as a series and like cornerstone it is to the cottage core world.
Yeah.
We don't actually cover them terribly frequently. Part of it
Sure.
is the length, right? Because all of these are going to be heavy investments time wise. Uh,
Well, I think the podcast's release timing as well. I think the only ones that have come out are Guardians of Azuma and
yeah,
Five,
that
and
too.
maybe the deluxe version of Four, maybe.
Yes.
So like really the
Yeah.
tail end of the series. What's your personal Rune Factory history? I think you might have mentioned something on Discord, but
Oh,
I
so that's also the kicker. This is my first one. Always wanted to,
sure,
just never hopped on the boat.
sure.
But yeah, this is my first one. What about you? What's your Rune Factory history?
My Rune Factory history is most of them. Uh,
Ooh,
so so back then, Natsume was doing some interesting stuff, and in 2006-7, they released two interesting Harvest Moon games. They released Rune Factory, a fantasy Harvest Moon. That's the actual
yeah,
subtitle.
I
And
remember.
they released Innocent Life, a futuristic Harvest Moon on
What?
the PSP.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, which is it's kind of like a sister game. It's by a different developer.
Ah,
It's a very different game, maybe not as good, but similarly interesting. They put out a fantasy and a future Harvest Moon at the same time. Only the fantasy one would end up surviving.
yeah, I
Um,
noticed.
but yeah, I pretty much played them all as they came out, and like if you've played a Harvest Moon game, you're basically getting a Harvest Moon game of that 2000s period with a certain amount of like RPG combat and like light dungeoneering added to it. So yeah, I mean it's a pretty straightforward blend to imagine, and like nowadays in the current era of cottage core
Yeah.
post post Valley games, exactly, post Stardew games, it's easy to imagine what a comparable game looks like. 3 is probably the for me the high point of the series.
Yeah.
A lot of people feel 4 is the high point of the series, and I
Yeah.
think that's totally reasonable as well. But then after 4 on 3DS, the studio Neverland, they made one more game that was not a Rune Factory title, and the studio unfortunately shut down completely, and
Yeah.
like that was it. That was the end. And then very suddenly in a Nintendo Direct, Rune Factory 5 was announced out of nowhere with some of the leadership from Neverland, and then they also did Rune Factory 4 Special, which is an amazing port. Uh, Rune Factory 5, I don't know how up on that one you are, but like coming hot off the heels, many years later than arguably the best 2 in the series, 3 and 4,
Yeah.
like expectations were high, and I think it's very fair to say expectations were largely not met.
Oof.
It's Rune Factory 5 in a lot of ways looks like a Rune Factory, and like it acts like a Rune Factory, but it is just not as good. It is not as concise. It is not as well thought out. They had to build back up from zero. They were building a new team. They also had to build new tools because it switched to like a full 3D, to being a full 3D game, as opposed to previously like the
Yeah.
sort of top down thing they had. So they had a lot of disadvantages, but unfortunately they weren't totally able to deliver, which kind of put the whole series back in like question. Like,
Mm.
is Rune Factory just going back to being dead? And thankfully I'm very glad about this, but no, Rune Factory did not die. Rune Factory, they immediately went and they started working on this one, Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. You'll notice does not have a 6
Yeah.
attached to it, and
Playing it
they were
safe.
very yeah, they've been very clear that this is like kind of like a spin-off game, kind of like dipping their toe here, and like they don't want to like upset people too much by changing things. So
Doing
this
the
game is
Capcom naming thing, it's Monster Hunter
a
Wilds.
little.
Maybe it is the next one.
Maybe it's the next one. I don't know. Do you guys like it? Yeah, I guess it is. No, I don't know. This is like the third game in the series that doesn't have a number. There was a Wii game and a PS3 Wii game before. So not the first time this series has had a spin-off that is basically just as much a full game as
Yeah.
the others, but I think probably the big difference with Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma is like it introduces this whole sort of light open world, open zones kind of gameplay thing,
Yeah.
and also is more combat focused.
Boy, is it.
Boy, is it. I don't think more combat focus is to its detriment.
Yeah. Oh, true.
From
Yeah, I say it, but
like from a design perspective, but I do think the combat doesn't necessarily deliver on all fronts either. So what did you get to play? You
Okay.
picked it up for the first time
Yes.
on Switch, on PC.
Okay, so well, actually, okay. First off, small disclaimer: I did some diggings through the archives here. Rune
Mm,
Factory 4S was covered by the show back in 2020, early on.
damn. Okay, it did happen.
Yeah, and Rune Factory 5 was covered by Alan Micah in 2022. So back in the day, I
Mm,
assume closer when it came out. It's just been a while. So wow, I didn't realize it's been that long. Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the special bonus, the one I was on and forgot about, we did an episode talking about the Pixel Cross Rune Factory game.
The puzzles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hardly even. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah, I
know,
get
I
you.
know. Like, obviously, it was
Yeah, yeah.
surprisingly good, actually. Like, I play it because it's Picross, and I love Picross, but They
Yeah.
did all right things, actually, intriguing things, with
Mm-hmm.
equipment and music. Anyways, um, so yeah, but all said, yeah. So obviously I've played Harvest Moon, Story of Seasons, all that. But the Rune Factory series, I always wanted to, never dipped my toes in. And yeah, this is my first one. I've been playing on the Switch too. I am I not terribly far in. Again, a lot of work this past month. We
Mm-hmm.
are. I didn't check the hour count, but I'd clear the summer village for reference, which is
Great.
not very far. How far are you? Let's get a frame of reference. I'm okay.
I'm
Uh,
I'm
I guess just spoilers
I'm s-
disclaimer. I don't.
yeah.
We haven't beat the game. I'm okay with whatever you want to talk about. I'm not open, and I guess up to where we are. Well, I'll just say it's open season. Go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm in the winter village. For context, the summer village is the second one, and
Hmm.
the winter village is the fourth one. And it's my understanding that those are the four towns in the game, and there are no more towns in the game. We could be totally wrong,
Yeah.
but I believe that's the case. And from there, the story is supposed to develop around there. But I think we do have a comfortable uh, backing to at least talk about the game,
I have
even
wet
if
my
we're
beak, I would
even
say.
if we are both nowhere near the staggering 50 plus hour playtime estimate on how long to beat, which I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
50 hours, that's crazy for this game. But anyway,
I was very puzzled. You mentioned that to me, and like I got to the spring village, and I was like, "Well, that went pretty fast." And assuming winter, we go to winter, it didn't feel like 50 hours. And then I saw the chapter list, and I was like, "Oh, okay, never mind. There's the
yeah,
50
no,
hours."
exactly. there's
Um,
there's a lot of stuff that I gotta say, for a game that seems to have such an extended playtime, and indeed this would make it the longest one in the series. I think tied with like 4 or 5. So I guess I shouldn't say the longest one in the series, but anyway, the story's awfully breezy for a game that seems to have such a long story play time, eh? Like, it goes by pretty quick, that you get to do lots of stuff.
yeah.
There's lots of characters to meet. Like, it's fun, and it's like very light and easy to play through. Not too much or almost anything in the way of time pressure either.
Hmm.
I definitely accidentally left a main goal to tick over to the next day, and not a big deal.
Yeah.
Just come see us the next day, no
Yep.
problem. I don't know if there are time limits at
Yeah.
any point or anything like that,
It's
frankly, but
Yeah, this is what's interesting to me. Again, like not fully knowing the expectations of Rune Factory. Like again, I know obviously they're more combat focused and what seems to be more RPG leaning, in terms of all the tropes you get with that, right? Story and characters and
mhm,
whatnot,
mhm.
right? As opposed to Harvest Moon, the Roots, which is very much more sandboxy, right? You get your character interactions, but there's little to no actual plot going on in those types of games. So I start up
Yeah.
Rune Factory. I get the whole little opening cutscene. It's all cinematic, and so I'm like, okay, I'm prepping mentally. That I'm probably gonna get something of a story. Um, and which there is, but it feels, at least so far, again, very early in. So this is very premature judgment. Like I don't know. I was expecting a little more. It's not terribly deep, or maybe just because it's going over what feels kind of just very um, generic, or not generic, like very tropey sort of story beats, right?
Yep.
We've got a village with the deity that's disappeared. Let's restore the land and rinse and repeat for the other villages. And so that's fine and dandy, but like, is that it? I'm just kind of looking around.
Yeah, I agree. Being that I'm still within the period of the game that's like help the villages out,
Yeah.
I agree. So far, the like village plots have been like pretty straightforward. Go here, do that. Yeah, help the village find its deity. I think one thing that has been helping me along is there are areas of the gameplay that I like quite enjoy. I know a lot of people kind of shirk away from the idea of like X series incorporating open world elements and stuff.
Hmm.
But I gotta say, the days in Guardians of Azuma where I choose to like go out into the open zone and just kind of like empty it and like do my best to finish it all, it's like a pretty fun little action adventure game stapled to the side of my
Yeah,
Harvest Moon game.
yeah,
Um, it's definitely a lot more elaborate than the other games in that regard, and the setting. Well, this is kind of a separate thought, but it feels a lot more grand than the other ones too. The other ones all feel like they're at the scope of like Harvest Moon, like you got your
sure.
grandpa's farm,
It's
and
all
you know
on the
they
one
all
map.
kind of feel
Yeah. Okay.
kind of yeah. Usually they'll have dungeons
Yeah.
and fields to go out into,
Hmm.
but it'll be like one area that branches into a couple spots.
Yeah.
Guardians of Azuma with this whole like getting to fly everywhere and all the islands in the sky. It is the execution perfect on that? No, this is not
Hmm.
Tears of the Kingdom,
Right.
but like it does manage to like carve out this much grander feeling than the other ones that I am kind of enamored with, like them trying to like punch a little higher with the setting and like the feel of the world and the scope of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's neat, and I don't disagree with your assessment that it's like pretty simplistic,
Yeah.
but
Like
it's
it's weird now that I think about it, because you're right in the context of Rune Factories and cottagecore games, right? Kind of being the flagship titles. Um, this is pretty grand, right? Like the open areas aren't bad by any means, right? Like again, certainly no Tears of the Kingdom, but maybe
yeah.
like I think it was so grand or well done to whatever degree. Like I just started judging it against Tears of the Kingdom and other open world games, like which is
Yeah.
maybe somewhat of an unfair comparison because where they're coming from and what they're trying to do, but yeah, no, like you're right. I do think the open world feels big enough, better than Scarlet and Violet Pokemon, um, which is not
Yeah,
saying a
yeah.
lot,
It's
but
certainly smaller than those ones, but better executed
yeah,
anyway.
well, at least that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
I'm engaged. You're right, because when you go out, like when you go out into the field area, like yeah, there's lots of little markers to see and do, and it feels designed well enough that it catches my interest. And again, that's only being on, two of the four villages, and who knows what else. I don't know how big this game gets, but so far,
yeah, I'm curious as well.
yeah, no, I like it's doing a serviceable job at least, trying to do this
Yeah.
open world action type game on the side. Um, yeah,
I agree. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts though, where you said you felt like you were comparing it to Tears of the Kingdom and stuff in your head. I don't think that's unfair at all. Like I
yeah,
think they're trying to play in that space
yeah.
in terms of design, and so I think like it's supernatural. So what was your I guess there was underwhelming stuff if
Yeah,
I'm
I
reading
mean,
you right.
it's by like how should I put this? You can feel the very gosh, I'm losing the word. Whatever. The zones, like you feel
Hmm.
the hard walls of the zones very like quickly or easily, right? Like once you reach the boss using the first island village as an example,
Hmm.
once you reach that boss, you've kind of seen the whole map, right? You haven't explored every nook and cranny, and then you've gotten all the little things to find, but you
More or less,
yeah, you
yeah.
kind of seen it, right? And so like
Yeah.
they're giving it to you kind of piecemeal, which is not inherently a bad approach, but it's like, yeah, but when you start adding it together, again, I'm just speaking from two islands in, like I think it starts to build up. But yeah, like, and yeah, I mean, well, you know what? Here's the real problem. I think more than that, like your options are limited, because you've got combat
Yes.
pretty much, right? There's no traversal options, as far as I know or that I've experienced, but
I think the only traversal thing is like you can run and you can mantle on stuff when you jump, and
yeah,
it's a little too high. Like I think that's it.
yeah,
I really appreciate that it's got mantling
yeah,
because that definitely helps when you're trying to climb awkward rocks
yeah,
that you might not
yeah. It is
be
pretty good
supposed to
about
climb.
that. Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, you're right. There's like not much going on there. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but and I guess, well, I mean, I guess this kind of just naturally leads into the combat because that's what you're going to be doing out
Yes,
there. So let's talk about combat. I
quite a bit of it.
yeah, boy, the scale is the spectrum's very wide when talking about combat, right?
Yeah.
and yeah, it's okay. Like it's not awful. There's even in the cottage core space, which the combat is stapled on at best sometimes. But we also have Sakuna, Rice and Ruin in this space, so we
Yeah.
can go very high too. Um, it's okay. Like the actions. Well, I say that maybe as you get farther in, because there's skill trees, right? You unlock and equipment upgrades, all that stuff, and you start unlocking different sets of
Yeah.
moves. But it's not very. It's not super dynamic, I guess, right? Like, it's mostly just running around trying to hit an enemy from a certain angle, maybe, and just pressing the buttons, just smashing. It's not terribly deep execution, in my opinion, or at least the
Yeah.
weapons I've tried.
No, I totally agree. You do get some more weapons. You might have gotten the talisman now
I
in
did.
the summer
That was
village.
a little that was interesting.
That was kind of a neat one. I like the homing shots,
Yeah,
but like yeah,
fast, rapid fire,
I
weak shots. Yeah, it's good stuff. That's interesting.
yeah, the upgrade tree like yeah, it adds stuff, but yeah, thus far it feel like it's only been like, like a charge attack or like an extra at the end of your combo.
Yeah,
Nothing really earth-shattering or anything.
yeah.
I do feel like I do feel like there's enough there that there's like the ability for the user to develop preference, which is at least a sign that they've surpassed a very low bar. I like the twin blades, and I like that you actually do occasionally want to switch to a ranged weapon.
Hmm.
They actually do manage to make that appealing
Yeah,
sometimes. Not to mention having the bow accessible on the shoulder buttons,
yeah.
like in Breath of the Wild, does just sort of feel good at a baseline.
Hmm.
But yeah, I do agree that the combat feels, light. You have your attack button on one face button, and then you have a secondary, like sort of artifact or like tool button where you get to use one of the game's special tools. So there's like a drum that you can heal yourself with.
Flame sword.
Later on, there's a big fan you can get that can blow wind
Oh, that sounds
things. Yeah, the
cool.
flame sword. It's all right. The fan. It's if you've seen the other ones, you kind of
But yeah,
already have
I
a
get
good
it.
idea what it
It's
is.
a
Um,
boost button, a little buff, a little pop of
yeah,
something. It's
exactly.
not earth
Um,
shattering, but
yeah, it's simplistic, but I think for me it's like it's above the bar where I'm like this is too little. Probably my biggest complaint is I feel like the balancing of the combat feels a little on the easy side
yeah.
on the normal difficulty. And on the hard difficulty, I don't know that I feel terribly satisfied by the enemies just doing a ton of damage.
Hmm.
Like it doesn't really make it more interesting to
Yeah.
me. So I think that's my biggest dissatisfaction is like the enemies are not that interesting. They all kind of just walk towards you or walk to a point and shoot at you.
Yeah.
And that's probably the worst thing to me. The bosses have more unique enemy AI.
Yeah.
I think you'll see if you continue to play in the autumn one, you fight this big Tanuki boss who
Oh.
has somewhat more unique AI, and like those fights, you definitely have to be a little more careful even on the normal difficulty.
Hmm.
But ultimately, like you're still not playing Bayonetta 3.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
you're still not playing Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. I mean,
The combat's
yeah.
serviceable, and if you like hitting buttons, you'll probably find something to
Yeah.
enjoy in there.
Like I
Um,
So I mean, yeah, like you. It should be said that you and I are definitely people who enjoy a little bit of a challenge or a little zest to our combat, right? I mean, like even Zenless, which
mhm,
is fairly light combat wise, but you still can parry, you can dodge and swap
mhm.
characters, right? There's a little meat on those bones. We appreciate that, but like here, there's not that much. So, but again, cottage core space, that's not generally everyone like the biggest focus, so it might appeal to a lot of people. But I will say, like, I agree that I see them trying stuff. They have some clever ideas, even in just the brief snapshot I had, like the tree boss in the summer village. Like all of a sudden, there's a
Mm.
big old target, like literally bullseye on his forehead, and you got to bring out
Yeah,
the bow
it's true. Yeah,
and you hit it with
yeah,
the fire
yeah,
arrows. And I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of fun. Mixing it up. It's like the first enemy you really can't just spam your sword at or whatever. And then there's some flying enemies where you have to switch to the talismans. Just I guess maybe the tutorial
yeah.
fight, but like okay, I see little
Like
bits and pieces that, but. You're right, but that's mostly special or boss fights. Like out in the field, so
Yes.
far, I've just experienced, like you said, they just charge at you. You're trying to dodge or heal yourself. You get hit and just whack them a bunch. It's not a lot of thought into that.
Yeah,
Mm,
I agree.
yeah,
Sometimes I'm sure you've had this experience too. Sometimes you're just like, I'm just gonna run past these enemies,
yeah,
and that's fine.
hmm
Does make you wonder if a game with stronger combat would make me want to engage with them a little more. But I don't know. I think where I land on the combat is like it's enough. It's just enough that I'm like, this is fun.
hmm
Asterisk. This is fun with a lowercase f.
yeah,
You know, like
yeah,
uh, it's certainly better. I don't know. I'm of two minds. It's more involved than the previous Rune Factory
uh-huh,
games combats. But they do, like 3 and 4 do benefit from their simplicity a little
sure,
bit. Where you only have, sort of like how a top down, like a Zelda feels or
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that. You don't really tend to look back at like a Link to the Past or Link's Awakening and be like, oh, you only have one slash and a spin attack.
yeah,
It's too little. Because the enemy designs are good and they do fun stuff with it.
yeah, and it's
So I think 3 and 4 benefit from that
yeah,
in a way that doesn't work so well in 3D if you only had like
right,
two sword slashes. So they had a big task in reinventing themselves here
hmm
and continuing to build off of 5. And I think they're at a place where I'm like, okay, at least hit this bar going forward, and you've got me. I think,
hmm
but to what you were saying, yeah, we're not exactly platinum games over here or anything
yeah.
like that. So
And I say all this with a almost a hope that if, and I think I may actually continue to play this because it's kept my interest. Like I'm enjoying it. It's not bad. I have to emphasize that. Like and people know, they listen to the show, this podcast, this is what we do. We critique. Um, like I am enjoying it. And with how lengthy it is, like, I hope there's some evolution later on the combat. Maybe there is, maybe there's not. I might be, well, overly optimistic here, but we'll I don't know. We'll see. Just again, I'm just thinking very early snapshot. I'd be loved to proven wrong or to make
yeah,
look like a fool later. Um,
I, to be honest, we're being very critical, but I think we're probably talking about like the bit that, well, I don't know about you, but that I'm probably the most kind of a little mixed on,
hmm
because I think other stuff they do more cleanly well,
Yeah,
where I'm like, oh, this is just pretty well executed.
yeah,
Like the towns in general, I think are like pretty well executed.
yeah,
There's a bunch of characters who like I kind of want to talk about. There's enough characters to really have preferences and be like, oh,
yeah,
maybe I will marry you one
yeah.
day.
Well, yeah,
The village building is simultaneously limited and somewhat free,
yeah.
where you have like specific areas you're allowed to build, but they're incorporated right into the towns. So
hmm
you kind of have little plots, and you have good freedom with what you can do there, and automating all of the farming stuff I think is also very enjoyable.
Yeah,
Like I think they do a lot right in the other
yeah.
areas of the game too. I don't know, what do you think about that?
Yeah,
What do you think? I kind of balled like 20 topics together
that's
there,
fine. That's
but
fine.
like,
No, I mean it's good intro segue to all these, but so yeah, like obviously here, this is our wine. This is where we're connoisseurs, right? How does the farming and the village mechanics work, right?
yeah.
Like we
On
are,
the flip side, I'm not so versed in that. I used to play a lot more of
yeah,
them as a kid, but as an adult, I've definitely leaned away from
yeah.
it. So I'm curious to hear your perspective.
So I think, okay, first of all, I think, like you said, it's clean. It's very clean. Probably the worst or one of the most common issues is any cottagecore game is being clunky or having unintuitive AI or UI, excuse me, UI
UI, yeah.
um or just things are inconvenient, lacking some quality of life, et cetera, et cetera. We've been through this so many times. That sort of stuff we'll pick up real quick. I didn't pick up on anything of that so far, and it's interesting because um, I think the approach is somewhat unique because you know how it is in Stardew or Harvest Moon. Here's your plot of land, and you plant your seeds, you water. There's your animal barn. There's your crafting, building, what have you, right? You go to this location, that location to do this activity or whatnot. The
Yeah.
plots here are interesting because it is still works in many ways like a farming plot where you plant your seed and water and all that, but it's a sort of it's every tile you can place different things. You can customize this plot, not just a farm, but what kind of buildings you're going to do. Right, here's a building
Hmm.
that can produce salt. Here's a carpenter. Here's a shop. Because you and it ties well into the theme and the story of the game of you're trying to build up the village, right? It's not just your your grandfather's farm you inherited. It's you're trying to get people to come visit the population to grow.
You're really trying to like restore places to their
Exactly.
former grandeur, which is nice.
hmm
Yeah.
So because of that, right? And weirdly enough, they make you the chief in every village. Good old Tagonitis, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But and
Well, you're conferred that special
yeah,
role, like the dragon stuff.
yeah.
So, anyway,
Yeah,
yeah.
and so, but it ties in because it feels less like you're not giving your farm. You don't have to go out and water the same crops every day. You the one of the nice mechanics is as these random NPCs, not the named characters that you can have relationships with.
Yeah,
Your
the
population
generic
will
ones.
grow, and they'll do tasks for you. They'll do work for you inside your plot in your village. They'll do the farming for you. They'll water stuff, harvest crops, plant seeds. They'll run the shops and serve different roles there. So it's a little more management focused than just the straight up farming. And I think
Yeah.
it works well because you can still go up to if you're so inclined, you can go up to the plants or the plots and water them if you're impatient or harvest them or whatever. You're more than welcome to do that. But
Yeah.
it's this game's sort of attempt at I guess automation, which is one thing we're big around here. Just because
uh,
we've done it so many times. Um,
it is neat, and you, in theory, you could even assign all your, because you do have to assign them to their roles, right?
mhm.
You could even assign them all to the shops and do all the farming
Yeah, that
yourself
is
if you wanted to.
absolutely true. I
But
didn't think about that. You could.
um, I think one of the ways in which automation benefits this game is because the farms are spread across 4 maps that you have to load
Yeah.
between. The load times are reasonably good, but you do have to load between them and walk to them,
hmm
as opposed to like a Harvest Moon or a Stardew, where all of your plants are all generally in the same
That's
spot.
correct.
I think having automation really benefits it, or else, like, man, could you imagine if every day in this game you had to warp to each town, walk to your plots, water,
Yeah.
maintain, and then do it 4 times, like for each town? It would be a
It
nightmare.
would.
Like the automation, I think, is really a smart
Yeah.
choice here.
Yeah, and they introduce it like nice and early, right up front to you, which
Yeah,
is clever because
they
in
do.
so many of these other cottagecore games is a whole song and dance. You have to wait X number of days to get your horse. You have to unlock certain things, hit certain checkpoints. But here they just kind of throw it all at you, which is again very nice.
Hmm.
And we're talking about all this functionally, but they make an attempt. Like they give you decorations and stuff like that, just for or not purely aesthetics because they'll give you bonuses and boosts, but
Hmm.
it's also a customizable thing on which a lot of people appreciate or enjoy in these types of games. So I like that, and not and also I see like I haven't done it because I haven't gotten that far, but you clearly see there's other plots of land you can unlock later on
Hmm.
once you get certain tools or whatever because there's a green bush I can't cut it or whatever.
There's these like blighted
Yeah,
things, these oppositional
yeah.
forces just hogging the land. Yeah,
These
yeah,
miasma.
yeah, yeah. I finally was able to clear the green one in the Springtown, which is nice because it's like, oh, I have my accessible land just doubled
Yeah,
because I got this
and that
fan.
one's cool because that one
So
like there's elevation going on now. What are we doing here? We got
yes.
water. We got different stuff.
Yeah, it's cute, and like Pocopia, not anywhere near as involved, but like Pocopia, yeah, you can make little rivers and
Yeah,
little like stepped areas, and you can make some really cute spaces. Having seen some screenshots
yeah,
and looked at my own spring
yeah,
village, I must say, you can make some really
yeah.
cute
You
spaces
can.
in this game,
You can.
in a way I feel quite positive about,
I
honestly.
agree. Yeah, it works well with the because yeah, it's interesting because you have to craft a farm plot. I don't think I've seen that in any other game, but you're literally crafting every single tile or what you're going to put on every single tile. So it's all
Yeah,
intentional and
you're
thoughtful.
right.
Yeah.
You're right. In most farming games, you just take the tiller and you do that on the grass and it turns into dirt,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You're right. In this game, you have to get like a item that is like a tilled soil and put it on the tile,
Yeah.
which is which is a little weird when you think about it, and it's definitely against how these things normally
Yeah.
go. But you are right in pointing that
Yeah,
out.
but that's
That is
almost
funny,
a
but it
positive here,
works.
to
It
be
works.
honest, because the one of the things we like around here, again, having gone through, the song and dance so many times, we like to see different ideas. How are you going to be different? The originality. So it's interesting at the bare minimum.
Yeah,
And it again
and
feels well executed, clean.
yeah, even if it goes against genre convention, like normally it would be like you have a bunch of items in your inventory, you take the tiller, you till, you put the seeds in the earth, which is another item, and then you use the watering item to water it, right? It's like multiple different interactions. In this game, because of the combat focus, they put like largely combat tools in your item slots,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like the sword and the fan and the drum. So I think it made sense in this game to just have basically you have this magic tiller, and that magic tiller just gives you access to like placing things. You can even use the mouse on the Switch too to
Yeah,
like zoom out
mouse
and just
mode.
manually. Yeah. And so in that regard it feels okay to put down like tilled dirt in like that sort of
Yeah,
impersonal kind of way because the structure of your inventory is just not quite the same as how it's handled in other farming
yeah,
games where like
you're
here
right. Because
every yeah, everything is put into one spot
mm-hmm.
here, like buildings and seeds and dirt. Whereas in other titles,
Yeah,
it's like, well, you're not doing the buildings so much, so it kind of makes more sense to only to
mm-hmm.
just keep it simple and
Yeah,
anyway.
no, and I mean, I appreciate it honestly. That's another big hurdle a lot of games struggle with. Even just the inventory structure. Like, does your
Yeah.
game have, a quick access tool belt or whatever, right? Or do your tools
Yo, right,
share
yeah.
inventory with your other items? Things like that. We see different approaches and sometimes not great ones. Lots of times not great answers to those design challenges. But this one I think does pretty well. Like you said, a lot of the your inventory or the slots that you're actually equipping and switching out are more combat focused. You have the tools which do have some functionality in the farm, but it's at least it's very specific. Um,
Yeah.
but like your seeds and all that, honestly, you can just chuck them in a storage box and everything in the village is linked. You don't have to think about it.
God, yeah.
Which I know Al's listening to this and just jumping for joy because he hates that having to dig up stuff or find it from a different area. He wants all the inventory linked. But so yeah, so it's convenient if nothing else.
I agree. I think they made a lot of good choices with item
Yeah.
management. Like when you hit, if I'm not mistaken, when you hit up on the D-pad or whatever, it opens up. Hang on, I have the game right here. You hit up on the D-pad, it opens up your inventory, and like the default items at the top are like food and healing items, which is great because you're doing third-person action. And then like when you're at the and oh yeah, so and from here, yeah, you can't see your buildings or anything even. And then when you're building stuff, all the food and healing items are just hidden because you don't need them in that menu. Lots of good little decisions
Yeah.
there. Nearly infinite storage capacity for putting stuff away, and like a generous on-hand storage capacity for your inventory. You're right. These are frictions that I don't tend to think about
Hmm.
because I don't play as many of these games that have 7,000 different item types.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that they made a lot of good
Yeah.
choices here
Yeah.
in that regard
Absolutely.
because I don't feel like there's much friction
No,
negative
they put
there.
what you need like right, the easy to access or like when you're even contextually, like because when you're inside the farming plot, some of your buttons change, right? Like there's a quick button to access the
Yes,
magic
yeah.
tiller that does everything or whatever. So it's very thoughtful and well done, right? Because we
Yeah.
see the antithesis of this where you have to have 300 different crafting stations and you have to know which item goes
Yeah.
in which one and what. and what materials you need to create it, and so on and so forth. The webs and chains can get very long and messy, but not here, not here at all. Very very clean, very well done. I think
Yeah, I
I
think
think a
so
lot of
too.
people who listen in, and the hosts, including Al, would actually be very surprised and interested to try this out because it feels good. Like I will say that, like the whole game, it feels good. Nothing feels bad. Nothing feels clunky or slow or sticky or um yeah. So I
Yeah,
like
it's
mechanically,
pretty sharp.
it's a well done, very clean game. Which boy
Yeah.
we appreciate. Many games
I
are in
had
early access
one.
for a long time, Liam, for a reason.
Well, yeah, that's how it go. I had one not complaint, but there was one thing I ran into that I found at first a little confusing is not the right word, but there was like a slight lack of clarity where like when I got to the summer village, I was like, "Oh, I want to like build some buildings and stuff." And I was like, "Where do I go to build buildings?" And I like sort of ran around the whole town and it was
Mm-hmm.
like, where do I go to build buildings? And at some point I clicked. It's like, okay, I have to actually go back to the spring village
Yeah.
to build buildings. I have to go. And from there, you can build a building to put in the summer village that is for building buildings
Yeah.
so that then you can do it in the summer village. But you do also need to find an NPC who has a random NPC who has the specialty
Yeah.
that lets them build buildings
Yeah.
because not everyone has that. And I think this is a piece of friction that I like
Mm-hmm.
because it really supports the whole like reconstruction of an area.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to be good at everything, and like there is a certain scrappiness to like working with what you have, and like oh I need to go back to the other town to get this because we
Yeah.
still don't have the resources in this town.
Yeah.
But the way it presented to me at first was a lack of clarity
Mm-hmm.
where I was like, wait, how do I do this? And I wasted a bunch of time running around the summer village.
Yeah.
And then I repeated that in the fall village again because that was where I picked up for before this podcast. I picked back up at the beginning of the fall village and I repeated this exact same thing over again before realizing, oh yeah, right, I still have to go back to the spring village. Thankfully, I got the resources in the fall village. I got a guy who can do it. I still don't have one in the summer village, but hopefully we'll be able to develop someone with those skills someday.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I
Sorry.
was just gonna say, like, I think you're right. I get that because, um, some of it, like, how should I put this? Like the jumping back and forth between villages isn't explicitly laid out at first, I think. At least not super clearly. Um,
No, you're right.
In
Actually, that's
fact,
true.
they do a whole send off from the spring village, like you're going off and you're not going to be back in a while, when you literally can just warp
Yeah.
back as soon as you land. And
And you will almost certainly have to go back
exactly,
within like,
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
So it feels weird
totally,
disconnect.
totally.
But what I like, so aside from that awkwardness of framing it, what I do, I kind of do like this as well. There's this little friction because, for me, what I like is the connectivity between the villages. Like you said, and not just having
Hmm.
the resources, but hey, I need a carpenter. Well, we got our carpenter buddy back in the Spring Village. Let's go see. I'm gonna go see him for help to build some buildings or what have you. Um, and
Hmm.
then jumping ahead a little here, but then as you build it up, eventually NPCs will start just hopping randomly between villages, and that's really cool. And I like that feeling of connectivity. Like it, yes, they're four separate zones, but it all feels like one, region now. Like people are traveling and
Yeah.
visiting, and you get to see your crew from one group hanging out in another one. Like, oh, what are you guys doing here? So I
And
appreciate
it's
that.
like explicitly
Yeah,
tourism too, which is kind of
it
cute.
is.
They are explicitly going to the villages to like see stuff and take in the sights. And I even had a conversation with the lady who runs Iroha, who
Iroha.
runs
Uh-huh.
the
Yeah.
shop. Yeah, in the first spring village, and Uraraka, the goddess of spring.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with them earlier, one of their events, that was like they were talking about how yeah, like now there's more tourists here and like the positives and negatives of that. And I was like, oh, this is very very light Japan politics going on in this conversation. But I agree, the seeing these sort of interplay as you build back up the town, and like it's not, they're like, they are written to not just be these isolated spaces, but like a world that, where people want to explore and like share in it and all. I think that's very cool. And I really think that's well executed. Kind of. I think it's 50% very well
Yeah,
executed. And then I want to loop back on something you said about how when you finish the Spring Village, there's like a send
yeah,
off, right? Like, goodbye, farewell. That bit of the narrative design I feel is less well executed
certainly.
because they're really going for like a very grand thing, like this huge world, and like you're riding a dragon between areas, which is like visually pretty
It
neat.
is.
But yeah, ultimately everywhere is like a stone's throw away. So like there is a slight narrative disconnect where the world is simultaneously infinitely vast, but also extremely small.
Yeah,
And like that is acknowledged within the narrative of the world as well, where characters like Iroha, who she runs a tea shop. She's just casually on the Autumn Town, just checking out the sights. She can just like, if she can just get
yeah.
around, surely the world can't be that big, right?
I do wonder how they
So
do it. We have a literally a dragon, and that's our only means of transportation. How'd they show up?
yeah, but how do they? Clearly all the people have also the access to the fast travel menu that
They
you have
clearly.
access to. So so there's like a little narrative disconnect there, but it's small, and I really feel like it's in service to benefiting the game,
It is.
where like it's cute to see other characters wandering around the wrong places.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of the fast travel, once you get to grips with the fast travel menu, man, that's a good
It's
fast travel menu.
so good.
It's
You
really
just
good.
cycle through all the pages. There's no like sub menu.
Yeah.
And it's snappy, and you
And
see where
it's
you go. There's lots of points. It's
Yeah,
no
it's
complaints.
granular, it's clear from the map menu. You can even move around a cursor to go like between spots. Like, man, they really like really really well-oiled machine, that like fast travel
It's
system. It's like a
real
little
good.
thing, but it really saves you a lot of time.
It is.
Positive.
Yeah,
Um
absolutely. Because this game, right? That's the dark path that we could have gone, right? Like no fast travel. You gotta fly every time to go back between your
Good God.
villages.
Man, yeah, if you had to like run back to like a dragon point to like fly at the village every time, like
Yeah, that'd be rough.
there's this yeah. We didn't really. I think we might have mentioned it in passing, but so there's like the four villages
Yeah,
as far as we know. There might be other large areas, but then and they're all floating in the sky. Imagine like Legend of Zelda Skyward
yeah,
Sword,
it really is like that.
and just like Skyward Sword, there's a bunch of micro islands that are just like little
Yeah,
things. There's this one island with this lady who wants you to bring desserts that you that like specific target
yeah,
desserts. Um, all these little sky islands, like they're very small, but they really contribute to like a good feeling of adventure, like getting to fly through the sky
yeah,
simplistically, but like nonetheless like working towards building the feeling of a vast world. I think it works.
yeah.
I kind of like it,
I know
honestly.
I do too.
And
Visually, like it feels like a broken up land scattered amongst the skies. Like I get the feeling from it.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it does. And I have to give special shout outs to the animator who did the animation when you land and the dragon like coils itself around the landing
Oh, it's
point.
so good.
Uh, it's really cool, actually. Like when I saw that for the first time, I was like, "Whoa, whoa!" I'm sad I'm gonna skip that every other
Yeah.
time now, but yeah, cool
Yeah.
stuff. Honestly,
Okay.
I
Now
think
let's get to
yeah.
the real meat of this. We know what we're here for, Liam. We got
Hot singles in your area.
okay. So well, here's the thing, Liam.
Yes, yes.
Relationship mechanics are not contentious, but they're a sensitive topic here at the harvest season. Because here's the thing: when you
Mm-hmm.
do them well, they're excellent. Not every game has them, but boy, a lot of games feel like they do when they come. So so
Yeah.
we've seen highs and lows of relationships, but this is Rune Factory. This is Harvest Moon. The expectation is set. Like we know we're gonna quality relationships, and more importantly, what is does the cast look like? That's the big question. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, I mean, I guess should we start with general relationship mechanics? I guess we could start with that.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
It's I mean, it's
I also have a contentious relationship with relationship mechanics,
oh,
though. Like building on what you were saying as
hmm
well. But I think this game does it pretty well.
yeah,
I think actually.
I
So I'm
agree.
interested to hear what you.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Because here's the thing, like and again, all from very early on, and this is an interesting one because this is a mechanic that evolves, which is not something we see. I can't think of very
Yeah.
frequently. It's, your standard talk to your character, give gift, you'll get a cutscene eventually. Like that's kind of what the relationship mechanics always boil down to, right? Usually it hinges on
Yeah.
the quality of the characters and the interactions and the cutscenes, right? Like do they feel like real people? But this is the first time, like the more you do things, the more options you get. And I mean, functionally, they're not that different. It's just like a tiny micro cutscene. You go to a forest or you hang out or whatever, but it's the flavor of like you're bonding, so you want to do more. You're more comfortable hanging out, doing different things. I think that's
Hmm.
pretty clever. Like I said, I don't can't recall that popping up in other things, in other games. I also what was it? Oh, but it does tie into gameplay, which is a big issue. Like I always want to see the relationships play into gameplay. Like you can take people out into your party once you know them a little bit. You can you can take them to certain locales and do things. So like yeah, I like the relationship mechanics a lot. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they did a really good job. I don't like how in a lot of games with relationship mechanics, like they tend to boil down to like just following the line, where it's like, okay, well, I'll just go choose to spend time with this one, and then a relatively fixed thing will happen, and then
Mm-hmm.
eventually the points will tick up.
Yep.
I particularly dislike, maybe this is contentious, but I particularly dislike in like Persona, modern
Yeah.
Personas, where like they have like enumerated levels and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like I feel like that feels very unnatural.
Oh,
Though I
that.
do understand
hmm
that they come hand in hand with like giving you skills and abilities
Yeah.
that tie to those levels. So I I get it. I get that there's a necessity there,
Yeah.
but it's not my preference. I think this game does a better job at making them feel a little more natural, um, with how it sort of randomizes the things you can do with them every
Yeah,
day.
that's very fun.
I, yeah, as you were saying, you have an option. You have like a couple options. I think four options is what you're handed
hmm
when you want to interact with them every day. But you have no bearing on those four options. I'm not even sure if give a gift is always there. It might be.
I
It might be the one
I
that's always
don't
there.
think
But
so. Small tangent, but like we talked about skill trees. One of the skill trees, which there are many, is your
yeah.
social skills, and you can actually. I looked down the list. You can unlock a reset. If you don't like the options presented to you, you can do a
Oh,
reset.
like
Yeah,
re-roll the
re-roll the
options.
options. Yeah, yeah.
That's funny. That's
Yeah,
funny. I didn't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, like every day with every character, you get a different role of like four things you can do with them, and it sort of gives you an idea of like how intense the activity is, how long it'll take in game minutes, and how the intensity is proportionate to the reward, I guess, in terms of like
Yeah.
character experience. Um, but it's cute, and there are wrong choices depending on the character and where your relationship level is
Mm-hmm.
at with them. I tried to take one of the characters to the beach, and I was turned down, and our relationship leveled down, and I was like,
Woof.
"Ouch, oof."
Ooh, I didn't. I'm too early. I
Yeah,
haven't seen that. Ooh, I like that though. I
yeah, that
like.
happened. That happened. No, totally. I wasn't expecting it either, so it was like, ooh. And then I couldn't do another interaction with that character that day because I had already
And
spent
it
it,
hurts
right?
so
So,
much.
um,
You're just regretting
it
it.
does.
This like the real life.
Yeah,
Oh no, I screwed it up.
exactly.
Look at
Yeah,
me.
no good feelings. So
Um,
yeah, like every day you can do like a brief chat with a character, which gives you like the barest of anything, and then you can also do one activity that is like semi-random.
Yeah.
Some of them require you to give up an item, like giving a gift or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And I think that's nice because it does feel like you're just doing different stuff spontaneously with
Yeah.
them. Um, and I think one of the things I like is like the next step, which is that yeah, when you hit different relationship levels, you unlock like you unlock fetch quests for them, which are not all that interesting,
Yeah.
but each character has different like bring me these items for this
Mm-hmm.
item, and those are fixed. They're not random or procedural. And then you also unlock like the sort of cutscenes and quests attached to them,
Yeah.
and those I really like that those don't follow a rigid pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have one character in the Spring Village, the warrior fellow.
Mm-hmm.
He has been locked for me for a while. It keeps saying like advance the story, and that's like very early in his thing. Whereas other characters I've been able to
Really?
progress quite deeply.
Huh.
Yeah. And like the quests, obviously they all follow similar patterns. Like fundamentally,
Sure.
that's still a Harvest Moon game, but like they're not totally predictable in their cadence and contents.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like they're not the same scenes just swapping out
Sure.
characters.
Right. Right.
I gen I genuinely think they did a really good
Yeah.
job with the
They're
character
fitting to the
cutscenes.
character. Absolutely. Um. I
Yeah,
want to back up
yeah, yeah.
going back to the
Please do.
the four activities. There is one, and you mentioned it, but it's just a fascinating thing because I don't think something I haven't seen really in other uh, cottage-core games, the time element. Because I mean, look,
Mm-hmm.
this is you know cottage-core, Stardew, the Harvest Moon. You know how it is. Every second's a minute, clock's ticking down, and in most games, people tend to actually have a desperate need to maximize or optimize their time and day. Um, so
Mm-hmm.
when you have to give a whole hour to if you want to do something significant to hang out with someone,
Yeah.
like that's an interesting little your resources, right? Do you want to spend the time and boost this relationship, or do you not want to miss the event that's going to happen only at 9 a.m. and and wait until the next day or whatever? I think that's clever how there's a little bit of a cost there to consider. Again, just something
Yeah, it's
novel.
nice.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I totally agree that it's nice. Even if like the time is like pretty lax, it's just another thing that you have to consider. It's good. It's
Yeah,
positive.
yeah, I
Totally
agree.
agree. But yeah, the relationship stuff I feel is like surprisingly well done.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah,
like I expected it to be more like generic across
yeah.
characters. And certainly when you're doing those like four random things you can pick from, those are your generic
Yeah,
ones. And they're over in a flash, and like you're in and out and you move on. But yeah, when you actually hit the story sequences for the characters, like the one I mentioned quite a bit earlier about like over tourism
yeah,
problems in the spring
yeah,
village, it's like yeah, that was very much unique from all the other characters' stories, down to the cutscene and everything. Like, so generally, I feel really positive about the relationship thing. Oh, you mentioned also before bringing the characters out. You can bring up to 3 characters with
yeah,
you to explore the world and do combat
yeah,
stuff with you. And they have a couple different types. There's like
yeah.
attacker, buffer, debuffer, and I think there's a
Yeah,
fourth.
healer.
Couldn't be defender, but
He,
anyway. Oh yeah, yeah,
there's
healer. I
defender too,
think
I think.
yeah.
Yeah, attacker, defender, buffer,
Is there
debuffer,
also
and
defender?
healer. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
there's a lot of types. Yeah, that's
yeah,
interesting because they're fairly fleshed out. Like unlike other games where the party comes and they'll do whatever. Maybe just set up as targets or whatever. Anyways, you can fully equip them out with gear. They have their own levels and
yeah. The gear changes their
they're
appearance slightly as
yeah, you
well.
you
Like
can
they're
modify their appearance.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
like they're full on party
a
members,
little.
which is kind of wild to think about now that I like saying it out because I know it's common fare in other games, but in this sort of like Harvest Moon game, yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
actually really novel and really cool, actually.
it's
Um,
it's a little unusual for sure. So it is nice, and they are. I wouldn't say that they're not as effective in combat
No,
as you are. No
nope,
question, but they are active
they are.
participants at all times. Like they are taking enemies' aggression off of
That's the main
you.
thing,
They are
always.
always in there doing stuff. Like they don't feel like they're doing
Yeah,
nothing, which is nice because so often in a lot of action RPGs, like the party members feel like they're contributing so little that like they may as well not be there at all.
that's the heel, Donald.
Right? Yeah, right. But no, I you feel like they're always there. They do chatter to you as well. I think there's actually an option to turn down and off their
Sure.
chatter.
Oh, that's nice. I haven't paid attention.
Maybe telling that the developers had feedback on that informed that decision, but I have left the chatter
I
on.
have too.
Um,
And it's thought
it's
out.
cute.
Sometimes you get specific dialogue when you bring two characters.
Yeah. I agree. There's more to it than I initially
Yeah.
thought in that regard. I think the one thing I wish there was, because it's very nice that you get to bring people out,
Mhm.
I wish there were like certain events in the world that you could participate
Um,
in if you had a certain character with
that's what
you.
it's
Um,
missing. That's
it would
100% what we
it
need.
would probably be nice, like a little like the Tales of games,
Yeah,
like go to this place
skits
with
or
this
certain
character.
points, right? Like memory spots.
Sure,
Yeah, you're
yeah, that
100%.
sort of thing.
You're right.
I don't feel like it's not like a massive omission
Mm-hmm.
that it hampers my enjoyment, but it's something that when I realized it, I was like, oh, actually, I do think of
Yeah,
that.
no, because that would make the outside, the fields, the combat areas feel much more
Yeah,
alive. Right? That is one thing, like, good or bad. The village and the combat area is very segregated. Like, I mean,
yeah. There's like a loading screen between
literally,
them,
yeah.
even.
But
Yeah.
that would be a nice
If
little
you're if
connective
you're
tissue.
playing on Switch 2, by the
Yeah,
way, because we've mentioned loads a couple times, loads are
they
snappy.
are.
Gotta
Yeah,
say, I'm a big fan of snappy
yeah.
loads. So
That's the power of
yeah,
the Switch too.
um, Switch
Chill,
2,
chill.
baby. Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Yeah. Um,
Oh man, but yeah, no, and so like overall, yeah, it's actually in depth. You're right. Like I looked at it, but again, I did get think about it because I'm just so auto trained from other games. But like yeah, but in this kind of game, it is a big deal to be able to equip your party, have them have dialogue and interact. Um, and also like it, it benefits the relationship if you bring out a member of the party a lot. It boosts the relationship. You get the relationship
yeah.
points. That's great. One of
Yeah.
probably the biggest sin of relationship mechanics is what we call the Stardew spouse problem. Because once you get married,
What's the Stardew spouse problem?
oh.
I'm so intrigued.
So once they get hitched with you, they kind of become dead characters. Like they just don't do it. There's no more events with them. You can't hang out with them. They might go to a certain location to do a job or whatever, but they only have like one or
Sure.
two dialogues pretty much forever. They're less interesting once you've spoused, you've married them.
Oh, I see.
And so
Mm,
here, like, obviously I haven't married anyone, and I'm not saying that you're going to unlock stuff after, but you can at least take them out and go hang out as you fight stuff. Like, do something with your
yeah.
spouse. Like, that's the bare minimum we'd like from these sorts of relationship mechanics, right? If you do pick a character to stick with, let me do something with them. Um, so I greatly
Yeah, that makes
appreciate
sense.
having that option. Yeah. And speaking of which, all right, let's put some names on the table, Liam. Let's get to it. We got our roster of characters. We don't know them all. We haven't met them all, but
Certainly not.
let's talk about some of the. And we don't have to go over all of them, but let's talk about some of the ones that have, for better or for worse, caught your attention. um,
Uh, I definitely really like. Hang on, I'm trying to pull up a list of names because
there's a
I
lot.
have currently encountered quite a
There's a
few, and I
lot.
just wanna.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
fun little asterisk. You can have relationship meters with people you don't get married. It's not exclusive to bachelors and bachelorettes.
Yes,
which
exactly.
is
So
good.
I want to make sure I have all the
Yeah,
side
and that's a good
characters.
thing in my
It is
opinion
good. I agree.
because it that's
Yeah.
a trap very easily, right? You hang out with the 6, 8 characters. No, you get a whole roster of people you can hang out with and flesh out just to be buddies, just to be, just to be homies with. Like,
Yeah, lots of
yeah,
them.
like,
I
hmm
really like right away at the beginning Suzu,
Suzu.
the child. There is just this child, and she just hangs around in the spring
Yeah,
village, and she will heal you and buff you and say all sorts of cheeky while you're
yeah.
out, and she also has different combat parameters, like she can't be hurt and stuff. Like she doesn't participate in
Wait,
combat
she
really
doesn't? I haven't taken her
uniquely.
out yet. Really? That's amazing.
Yeah, if I'm unfortunately my game's in a cutscene right now, so
Yeah.
I can't double check. But if I'm not mistaken, when you're on the inventory screen with her, like she doesn't have health bars and stuff the
Oh,
same
that's
way.
incredible.
Uh,
I didn't even know
I
that.
mean, she has a different a body type, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, she's
the
small.
children
Yeah.
are shorter, so they probably don't have all the animations
Oh,
for
that's
that either.
incredible.
Probably, I better not be misremembering this because it'll be super
That's
embarrassing. But I do believe,
just
yeah.
immunity by
Um,
being. That's the Yoda from
yeah,
Soul
child
Calibur. We get to
immunity,
hang out with Yoda from Soul Calibur. Um,
right? Yeah,
oh, that completely 180s me on Suzu. Because personality wise, like Uh, s- I feel like a lot of these characters, not just her, are cliched, which it's RPG. I'm not, judging too
yes,
harshly, but she's the spunky little kid. I'm gonna be a superstar. He's singing and dancing. She's fine or whatever. But I did was like, yeah,
yeah,
nothing. It's like, yeah, whatever. It wasn't particularly. But now that I know she can do that, oh no, she's gonna roll with me next time. Let's see what she can do.
yeah. It's cute. I hope I'm remembering that
That's
right.
awesome.
Um,
Oh,
Otherwise, I think the early ones that I like are like Ulalaka, the goddess of spring.
yeah.
I like Murasame, the warrior
Oh.
fellow from spring. And you haven't met this guy yet, but in the fall area, there's a guy named Quilang that I really like. He has this sort of like cold, mysterious vibe to him. He's cool. But as far as bachelorettes, I think Ulalaka's leading the pack
Yeah.
for me.
So Queenlang's interesting because he is a romanceable, but only in DLC.
Oh, I didn't
That's
know that.
interesting. Um. Oh, also, like,
How to Romance Quilang. Purchase the deluxe edition. Oh, whoa. No kidding. The Seasons of Love. What is this? I didn't know about
I don't
this.
know. I did because I knew I wasn't gonna unlock everyone, and I mean, let's
Sure,
look.
sure.
I have to, I have to see what I'm dealing with. Like, I gotta, want to get early vibes. See what,
Yeah.
get a glance at the roster to see what I'm picking from here. So I certainly took it to list of the
Yeah,
bachelors
yeah.
and bachelorettes, and there's, I believe one female, one male, bachelorette that are DLC locked. But I didn't know they were characters in the game. That is interesting. Um,
Yeah, he's there already.
that's
Like,
fascinating. Yeah, he's cool.
yeah, you're right. This other character, too, Pilika. I didn't
He's the puppet
know.
guy, Queeling, I think, right? I think I remember reading something about he's like a puppet, isn't he a puppet guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Machine affinity kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Um, so interesting. I will say, what was I going I lost it. Oh, okay. Look,
That's
the
okay.
2026 bar shouldn't be like this, but I still have to give props, especially from the Japanese
Mm.
games. You can romance whoever you want. So, golf clap for
Yeah.
that. Like, I hate that I
I
I have to
agree.
applaud it, but I will bring it up because especially on this show, we see not always the case. Especially from the
It's
Japanese kids. I'm sorry.
yeah.
It is what
It's
it is.
it's a real low bar, but I agree.
um,
They did so. I think Rune Factory 5 was the first one
yeah,
that
yeah.
made it that way.
Finally.
And I'm glad that seems like it will probably persist
Yeah.
in the
Look,
series.
I mean,
Because
this is
yeah,
we're in the genre with Harvest Moon for girls. Like, it's the bar is
yeah,
in
yeah.
hell over here. Anyways, getting off track there, but yeah, feeling. Oh, I can't wait to meet him. He's cool. Okay. Murasame, the samurai guy. I mean, he's your stereotypical wandering samurai guy wants to get stronger, but he's cool. I like him though. I
He is
agree, he's
cool.
cool.
Yeah. That's it. They executed it
Yeah,
well.
yeah, but he's got the bandage, or, the what sash over the eye. You
Yeah.
know what it is, but I like it though.
Yeah, yeah, the bandage.
He just wants to get stronger, but I don't think he's actually. Oh, he is a bachelor. I didn't know that. Anyways, but he's a good one. I agree. Uh, Unalaka. Okay, wait. You said Unalaka earlier. Is this the Japan localization thing? Did they really switch out the L's and R's again? I
No,
Are you playing in
they might have
Japanese?
because it's. I'm playing in
Oh,
English.
you're
I'm
playing in
playing in
English. Okay.
English, but like her name would be
Oh,
written
Uranaka.
without
Yeah, it is. Okay. Like, I feel so awkward
character.
about that. Like, because I mean, it's it's a whole thing, like the weird localizations and whatever. But Zolo and Zoro. But anyways, I'm going Uranaka because that's the English and that's what I'm accustomed to. But I agree. She's number one in my heart right now. She's kind of leading it, and again. Very archetypal, like she's pink-haired spring
Yes.
goddess. She's helping everyone. She's a
Yeah.
sweetheart. But you know what? Fine. And you know what? For
No, I
extra
agree.
context, Liam, I'm a chronically single man. Let's say that. So
Oh, sure, sure.
everyone knows this on the show. It's fine. Everyone knows that my dating tribulations or lack thereof. But anyways,
Sure,
but
sure.
no, she's just a sweetheart, and I'm a sucker for the sweethearts.
Yeah, she's cute and she's nice, and I think she makes an impact. She makes a big impact early in the game, being that she's like the
Yeah,
first of
the
the
deities.
seasonal
Yeah,
gods that the deities that you bring back.
yeah.
And so, like, I think part of it is like I'm just way deeper in
Hmm.
her and the other spring people's quests than the other communities at
Yeah,
this point.
that is a
Also,
big thing.
um,
Like, I mean,
but I
Suzu,
agree, she's just
yeah,
nice. She's just a good kid.
yeah.
Yeah,
But the recency bias or familiarity bias, whatever, the ones they present to you first, like, yeah, they're probably gonna. I mean, that's just a thing. That's the evidence. Like, you're gonna be, you're gonna gravitate towards them a little more, maybe. I mean, Suzu is like literally the tutorial character for some of the relationship mechanics. So.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, they grow from Iroha. You spend a lot of time with Iroha, and yeah, all right, she's all right. I dig her.
Yeah, and then there's Hina and Moro that I'm not that interested in.
Yeah,
These two, uh, I like their role in the
yeah,
setting. In that, like right away in the Spring Village, it is presented to you that people travel between village, people travel
yeah,
around, and they like you can't miss it in the story.
yeah,
Like their presence is literally
yeah,
that. It is that like yeah, like we want to emphasize that these places are not truly
yeah.
isolated. Um, but yeah, Moro interests me very, very little, and
He
not
he's
much more than that, honestly.
he's the
So
guy who's talking in other language, saying random bits in other languages for no reason. You know the type where he's the
sure,
well
yeah,
traveled guy, and I agree. Like he just I don't know. He's bland. He's too smiley. um.
I think he's bland. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I don't blame you one bit there. Hina's interesting because we got a foxtail girl, so we're getting that if that's your preference. Let's see, I'm trying to think. Oh, one of my favorite non romanceables, if I'm not mistaken. What's it? Oh gosh, Takumi, our carpenter meathead friend.
Takumi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
He's our little bit of a himbo. He's not an idiot per se, but he's got the himbo energy where he's helpful, he's buff, and he's carpenter, and he's good with the sword. He's just a fun guy. He's just a good bro to have around.
yeah. He is. I agree.
Uh
This is like a real deep
yeah,
cut, and is like for no one, but. At the very beginning of the game, there's Sakaki, right,
the
the
old
old
man
man,
Sakaki.
and
Yep.
he wants you to go fetch
Yeah.
Takumi to build,
Yeah.
right? Um, recently there was this game that came out called the 100 Line Last Defense Academy,
I know this game.
which
Yeah.
is I adore this game. It consumed my wife and I's lives. Anyway, the main character of that game, his name is also Takumi, and there is this bossy old man character called Sire
Uh-huh.
who often addresses Takumi and tells him to do stuff,
Yeah.
right? Here's the thing. In the Japanese dub, Sakaki has Sirei's voice, and when he addresses
Yeah.
Takumi with that voice, it triggered something deep in my head of like, oh my god, this is like as 100 line as it gets. It's literally the boss man, the Monokuma equivalent
Wow.
in 100 line, telling using the name of the protagonist from 100 line
Oh, that is
again.
a deep cut.
So
That's fun.
if you are playing with the Japanese dub and you have played 100 line, you will also get absolutely stun locked by Sakaki addressing Takumi a couple times in the first chapter.
That's
Anyway,
amazing.
complete tangent, very deep level
That's
tangent, but
amazing.
um,
Um,
yeah, Takumi's cool. I like him
yeah,
too. He's
he's a
cute.
good bro.
Um,
Um,
you,
mhm.
I don't believe you've gotten far enough in the game to access this character yet, but you know you can also get Sakuna to join you in your town. There is a free DLC. There is a free DLC that adds Sakuna to the game. Highly encourage you to download it. I think you need to play into the Autumn Village, and sometime during the Autumn Village, you get the ability to build Sakuna's house. And if you build Sakuna's house,
People,
yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
listening, like we're using
Um,
that. There's a lot of Japanese names, but no, people know my thing with Sakuna. This is the Sakuna. Oh my
this is the
gosh.
Sakuna. She is not romanceable, and you can't change her
She's
equipment,
no.
but you can take her out into combat, and she will fight with you. She
Oh.
has voice lines. It's great, and she looks. It's like really just her. I think snatched from that game. Like
Yeah, no, the art
they
style's
didn't change
different.
her proportions or anything.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, I didn't know that. Oh, I'm trying
yeah,
not to
it's
scream to
cute.
shoot yours, but people know I scream when I hear
You can
Sakuna
scream a
things.
little. It's okay.
Oh, I didn't. Wow, I legit wanted to play this game and went along with it, not knowing Sakuna was in it. Wow,
Yeah, yeah.
and she's
She's there. Her house is there. Her little green buddy is there. I
Tama's
forget his name.
there. Does she
Um,
have? Is
and
she
she has
voiced? Do you know if she's voiced? Oh,
she's
I'm sweating.
voiced, but I don't know that they did any new lines for
Oh, just
her.
recycled
So
from the
she,
game. From
as
yeah,
as far as I know, she doesn't have like chat or like conversation scenes. Like
yeah.
that's not a
Sure, sure,
thing.
sure.
She has a series of side quests in the like Emma
Yeah.
Plax area of the
Uh
game.
huh.
So like that's as far as you get with her. But yeah, and she will also farm rice. She has a rice specialty.
Oh,
So
wow! I didn't
yeah,
know this game had the greatest piece of DLC. Um,
it's
it's
cute. It is free, which is nice as well.
yeah.
And like the
Oh,
season's
you
love
can't
thing.
equip her with
But yeah,
stuff because she's already got the perfect
no,
setup.
yeah,
She has.
yeah. You're not gonna beat the hoe.
Oh, she's
So
voiced by Laura Post. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I'm gonna finish this game. Wow.
gotta finish this game with Sakuna on your party the whole
Yes.
time.
Get out of the Simpson sheep meme. Move out of the way, Ula, because
Yeah,
Saka's
yeah. Move
here.
out of the way. Yeah, for real.
Oh my
Your
gosh.
all child
Yeah.
party.
Wow. I had no idea. Wow. Wow, thank you for making my day. I looked
Yeah, no,
stuff up
no,
I
not at
looked
all.
up stuff on the game. I missed that completely. Wow. Um, okay, so out of the characters I've seen, I've exhausted pretty much anyone I've been particularly interested. It's a fairly small roster all so far. But I did, like I said, I took a peek at some of the other characters. There's two that do stick out to me. First, I don't know if you've seen, but there's a lady named Clarice. She's got a hat on, a soldier
I
type
have seen
hat.
her.
So
Yeah.
yeah, you've caught my interest. She's the icy cold blonde lady, but she's soldier and the hat. So I'm very interested how we get there. And yeah, I'm interested to meet her. The other one that I find just interesting from the principle, so when you start your game, you pick are you a boy or a girl? But they do have different names.
Yes.
You're you're a car, you're a Subaru if you're a boy,
The other character. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then you're Kaguya if you're a female. They will
Yep.
show up as separate characters and not just as another character. They're romanceable, which is kind of wild to think about, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah. They're really not just they're legitimately two different
Yeah, they're not
characters. The story's the
avatars.
same no matter who you
Yeah,
pick, but they're actually other characters. Yeah,
that's pretty
it's
cool.
it's cool.
Yeah,
I think it's very similar. If you guys have played Genshin Impact, I think it's like the same sort of handling as that,
yeah,
where like your sibling is out in the world doing some other.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I've got. I don't know if you got any other thoughts on characters or
On characters, not so much. I think I wish I had more to say,
uh,
but I feel
we're
like
too
at
early.
this point, even at the beginning of the yeah, exactly. Even being in the Winter Village, I still have not met everyone
Yeah.
yet. So
No. All right.
I have to say, I don't think Woolby is that bad.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, yeah, we got to talk about Wooby. So,
Yeah.
Wooby, you're
You have a little floating sprite character who is a dragon, but is now taking assuming the shape of a woolly. The woolies are the common enemy. They are the Dragon Quest slime
yeah.
equivalent for Rune Factory. Famously, in Rune Factory 3, you transform into a woolly, and like a ton of the romanceable characters are like monsters, monster girls, which is tight. Uh, Anyway, so Wolby is this little floating sprite of a critter, and we have thoughts on Wolby. You have thoughts. You have strong thoughts on Wolby. I'm playing with the Japanese dub,
Yeah.
so this may.
That
I don't
might
know what you're
be the
playing
make
with.
or break moment, or the deciding factor. Because okay, so this is a deep cut. Again, we're Sonic people, so this is a reference for us and probably
Yeah.
no one else listening to this. But we have there's a character called Chip from the game Sonic
Yes.
Unleashed, a
Yes.
roller coaster of a Sonic game with some great highs and very rough lows. Chip is in the tradition of Navi and all these characters, right? Like your guide character who's yapping anyways, not particularly popular in that game, amongst many
No.
Sonic fans. One of the low points, let's say.
Yeah.
Now, I was being hyperbolic comparing Woolby to Chip, but it was hard not to get the vibes. He's got the same sort of body shape. He's floating around you, and he's a little yappy. He's spunky or whatnot. Um, and it might be the voice. Like I have to listen to the Japanese voice and see how that sets it apart. But
But he's got a similar vibe. I don't disagree with what you're getting
yeah,
at
it's
fundamentally.
it's the silhouette. It's like if if you just see the silhouette, is that Chip with horns I see? Anyways,
Hmm.
but I mean he's not as bad as Chip. Like he's not grating. I don't hate him, but I'm heckling him. But like he turns into the dragon, and I'm thankful they did that early because I didn't want them to drag it out. Like, oh, I'm a dragon, but I'm tiny actually, and save it for the finale, which would have been very cliche and whatever. But no, he turns into the dragon, and he's your transport. So he starts being very like useful and game from a gameplay perspective. And so he's all
Yeah.
right. You're not a silent protagonist, but he's still doing most of the talking for you. Um, so it is. But you tell me, what are your thoughts on Wolby?
I think Wolby's fine, honestly. Like he's a goof. He goofs
Yeah,
around, and I don't dislike him like I dislike
yeah,
Chip. I'm maybe not totally sure why. I don't think I can put my finger exactly on why I don't find Wolby to be super grating or anything.
hmm
So yeah, when I did used to play Genshin Impact, I also did not find Paimon that grating in English.
yeah.
It's something about Chip that I really hate. Chip I do not like, but I can tolerate characters otherwise uh who are like this,
Yeah.
clearly.
No, I mean Chip.
Wolby's
Chip is
cute.
another level. I'm not wrong, but like it's looking at it's the same body shape. They have a thing around their neck,
Yeah,
and like it's the same thing. But anyways, but Wolby's all right. He's growing on me. I'll say that. Like I think he's
that's good.
I think maybe in the early story they were pushing him a little more, which makes sense. Like I think it was a little less prominent in the Summer Island and some other things, but no, we'll be fine. Um, yeah, okay. Any other thoughts there, Mr. Liam,
On the characters and stuff, no,
or just in
I
general?
think I've got probably everything. Any other thoughts? I don't know, man. I think we actually have been over a lot about the
Yeah.
game. Uh, I think, by and large, it's like a pretty dope game that does a lot of things right. Not everything is hitting at the highest levels of execution, but like I think it's landing enough that I feel routinely satisfied
Mm-hmm.
playing the game. And I feel like that's cool. It makes me wish I had played this game more at launch. I bought it right at the launch of the Switch
Mm-hmm.
2, but my attention was soon taken away from it by Donkey Kong,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then I sort of just never went back. And now that I'm back, well, Yoshi is coming for me
Yeah.
too. But like other than that, now that I'm back, I'm like, I actually think I want to like see this game through at this point. Like I'm actually really enjoying it. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll have to buy that DLC though. I did not realize that that included two of the characters.
Romanceables.
One of the ones I like
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, darn, but oh well. I did see that it goes on sale. I'm not going to be stuck buying.
Yeah.
I get to buy it in yen too, which is
Yeah.
cheaper. It's like 1,650 yen, the full price,
Oh,
compared to
like, I
like,
mean, I was,
well, I don't know what it is, but that would only be like 10 US dollars to home.
yeah, yeah. I mean, well, I bought it for, oh, so, I mean, as we often do, I bought it for the show to play and record. I've been wanting to, but, I wasn't looking for a bargain. It's like, whatever, I'll just pick it up, the easy thing. So I paid like 40 USD, which
40. That's
it's
all
not
right.
the
That's all
worst,
right.
especially in this day and age, but, yeah, there's probably a Steam sale or something could have done. But also, I want it on the Switch too. So, yeah, I was willing to pay for the 40. Um,
Yeah, I get you.
yeah. Um, well, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, overall, like, I think obviously we had our criticisms because that's what we do, but I agree. Like, I think overall it's enjoyable, and I mean, my decision is made. There's another game I can hit credits with Sakana in, so I will be completing this game. I've got another adventure to
Yeah,
go
that counts for something, man.
with my
Yeah.
homegirl. So yeah. The only like not negative, but like I'm gonna bring her out of combat. I'm just thinking like how much better she could be fighting.
Yeah,
I want to see
well,
the launchers and the air spins.
you want her with the full combat
Yes.
system unleashed. Yeah,
Oh,
no such luck,
sucking
but
us
yeah.
so good. All right. Okay. Well,
It,
with that said, thank you, Liam, for
mhm.
joining me on for an episode here, another episode. Very honored and thankful you decided to join us again. Somehow I didn't scare you off last time, so thank you.
Yeah,
Um,
not at all. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
yeah. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll have to sit down once more once we beat the story. See if there's some meat on those bones. Because it's another thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought I knew what was coming, but I see that much left. Well, maybe I don't. Anyways, um,
I, I actually was spoiled on a big plot
mm-hmm,
moment later in the
yeah,
game that I will not,
mm-hmm,
mention the
yeah.
details of. And when I read that plot moment a while ago, I was like, "Ooh, I actually would like to see
Ah,
that
so it intrigued you.
one
All
day,"
right, well
because
there you go. So there's
it did
something.
it did intrigue me for
All
sure.
right,
Yeah.
well, that's good to know. There's some. All right, that's. I mean, yeah. All right, I'm. That's good to know. There's something that caught your interest. That
There's something.
okay. All right.
It's cool. I mean, I haven't seen it,
Yeah,
so it's
sure.
all, who knows what the execution is, but on
Yeah.
paper, very legitimately surprising development that I was like, oh, that's actually a big deal.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
All
yeah, man.
right. Okay. So as we're wrapping up, anything you want to plug, you say to the audience, find you, not find you, shout out, whatever you want to do.
Sure, sure. Well, as always, you can find me on Blue Sky and Twitter at Liam Allen Miller. Can also buy my video game on Nintendo Switch or on the game's called Garden Guardian. It is not cottagecore.
We
It's quite the
covered it.
opposite. It's an action game.
Excuse me. We
Yes.
are the gatekeepers here definitively. We covered its
Oh,
cottagecore.
you get to pick what
Yes,
cottagecore
yes,
is, so it counts.
we are the arbiters. Whatever pretentious word you want to come up with, we're drawing the lines in the sand. We are.
I think I told you this. I think I told you this last time, but even though it is purely an action game that is farming
Yeah.
themed, Steam did accept it during the farming sale, so that was very validating in
There
that
you go.
regard. So if you want a cool, fun, small action game, feel free to give it a look, give it a wish list. It goes on sale
It's
every
a
now and
good
again,
one.
so don't feel the need to buy it at full price
We
either.
talked about it. It's good.
Yeah, that's me.
hmm
Do you have anything you need to plug?
I mean, my stuff's not that interesting. My art account, I haven't touched it in a long time. So, but I'm Cooper President. Yeah, well, I'll talk about it later. But I do pixel art. Um, so
Hmm.
or used to. I'm completely amateur. I'm not. I'm
Sure.
not the lead artist on Mina the Hollow or whatever. um,
That's okay. I mean,
yeah.
if you care about it and you feel good about it, I'm sure there's someone out there who'd like to
Yeah,
see it.
thank you. I appreciate it. Well, anyways, well, you guys know me. I'm Cooper Pres, whatever. I just retweet other more funny, interesting things than what I have to say. But yeah. More importantly than me though, let's see, find this podcast that you're listening to. Find it again at THS Pod on Tumblr and Blue Sky if you want to see posts and news and links and things. Or go to harvestseason.club, our bona fide
Hmm.
website made by software. I don't know if he's actually an engineer, whatever. He is a programmer, coding man, Al, the host with the most, with all the links to everything you need and feedback forms. Submit your questions and comments there. We love to read them on air. Or if you want the royal experience, go down to patreon.com/thspod, where we to have as bonus content like the greenhouse episodes. We True to the name Greenhouse, they are often evergreen. Just random topics that you can listen to at any time. They're not news dependent or game dependent, so go check it out. We do all sorts of stupid stuff on there. We are still need to get together to do our episode for the series review on Bluey, which many of us are fans of.
On
Yeah.
Bluey.
Al
Amazing.
Al has kids, so obviously he's into Bluey. I caught it at one point, and we got like one other Cody, one of our other coaches, she's big into Bluey. So we've said it, we haven't done it, but we're like, yeah, we got to do Bluey episode at one point. Just
Nice.
biggest tear jerkers, biggest screams. Yeah, we love Bluey.
That's so funny. That's
Yeah,
good. I'm glad to hear it. Bluey deserves all the ups in the
oh, it's
world.
so good. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, again, that's on the Patreon. You also get access to our Slack where people can hang out and chat. All the hosts are there. You get usually you'll see little sneak peeks at the new episode, mostly in the form of threads of random images. Insider baseball. Al posted one such thread this for this week's episode, which I've not listened to, and it's just images of people planking. So I'm genuinely baffled by the context of this, but I go that's your Patreon experience. Anyways, again, that is patreon.com/thspod. Okay, and so with all that said, thank you again, Liam, for being on. Thank you, Al, for editing and listening to all this nonsense. Um, and thank you again. And until next time, dear listener, have
Have
a
a
good
good
harvest.
harvest.
The Harvest Season is created by Al McKinley, with support from our patrons, including our pro farmers Kevin, Stuart, and Elisa. Our art is done by Micah the Brave, and our music is done by Nick Burgess. Feel free to visit our website, harvestseason.club, for show notes and links to things we discussed in this episode.
There you go. You don't know I can't blame you at all. You don't.
It's tougher. It's tougher. It's tougher than it sounds. And you're right. You had a cadence that was
Yeah,
different. You guys must do
we
that all the
do. We
time. I'll
do.
try to
We
get it.
do.
I'll try to get
No,
it next
that's
time.
yeah, yeah. We do. I should have prepped you. Um,
No, you're
If,
good. You're good. It's better that
fun day.
way.
No, no, absolutely. Oh, I screwed up on purpose all the time. And sometimes I'll play out with it. I've gotten a few voice actors from some of the games on here. And so
Hmm.
I'll have them I'll make them do the thing, do the voice and say the outro. That's fun. One time we did an episode on Balatro because it had Stardew DLC, and was it good enough? We'll talk about Balatro.
Hmm.
And I did a
Hmm.
whole outro as the Joker from Batman. I'm amateur, very bad
Hmm.
voice actor, man. I'm not a voice actor. I like to make voices, and I wish I could be a voice actor. I am sadly not the Kevin who plays Mario. I'm the Kevin who plays Mario by myself in my head.
Oh well. One day.
One day.
One day you could be.